It is our mission to embrace the ideal that our show shall always strive to belittle the stupid and to play an occasional song. We shall also strive to take all of your requests, but to never, under any circumstances, play those requests. It is our mission to offend as many people as we can in the shortest time possible. We shall always remember that no matter how pointless and stupid the things we say are, we shall present them in such a way that they will be lessons that will last a lifetime. We shall strive always to do nothing and to be mean. We shall strive mightily to always be the #1 morning show in Salt Lake, or, if not that, the #2 morning show, or at least somewhere in the top 15 or 20 morning shows. At least once a year, we shall go to someone's home, and we shall eat really good food, and we'll make you wish that you could be there to share it with us. And finally, it is our mission to always remind the listeners that we never lie, and we're always right. So let it be written, so let it be done.
Hope addicts are here.
Well, I mean, I kind of know.
Well, yeah.
But
We couldn't find any birthday or on this date.
No, it is on this day.
It kind of is.
Because you could say, should I do it? Let me.
Go ahead.
On this day, it has been reported that Smashing Pumpkins, the original band, have gotten back together and finished recording a brand new album.
Now it's the band. It's James Yeehaw and Jimmy Chamberlain.
Where's the lady?
Darcy was
Darcy's
not invited.
not invited, apparently.
Ah.
So, but
That's the
the
band.
basic core.
The core.
James Yeehaw is a great guitar player.
What did she ever do in the band?
She was a bass player.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, I was praying for a Zwan reunion.
No, you were not.
No, nobody was praying for that.
And Billy Corgan's crazy,
Yeah,
so,
he's nuts.
He likes cats, though.
but he likes cats and
Yeah.
wrestling and.
Yeah.
But I'd be excited to hear it because
Then you probably will.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll play it here. What are you eating?
I'm eating. Well, see, I have done what we have criticized Richie for doing and others for doing.
What's that?
And I stole this pack of crackers off John Smith's desk. It was just sitting there open. And they're club crackers.
Was there a Post-it note with an arrow pointing that said, "Bill, if you'd like some of these, help yourself"?
There might as well have been, because they are irresistible to me.
But you know, he got the beaties. Maybe that's
I'm
something.
not going to catch diabetes.
No,
No,
I
but
mean,
maybe he needs those.
maybe.
Well, you shouldn't have left them here then.
So when he's writhing on the floor in pain, and I thought I had crackers, and I don't.
No, I'll do what everybody. If you ever come across someone who is writhing on the floor in pain because of their diabetes, you call an ambulance or you call Wilford Brimley.
All right.
And they'll say, "But you're a diabetic. You're supposed to have things on hand in case this happens." And he says, "I did.
I had crackers.
Where are the crackers?
but somebody stole them."
If they're that important, well, they're irresistible. I couldn't.
I do like a club cracker.
Oh my
Me
God.
too. Yeah.
They're salty and buttery.
Yep.
Delicious. So
That's a good thing we haven't started the show yet, though.
Yeah.
'Cause you're just got a mouthful of club cracker.
I will, from this moment on, for the rest of the show, only eat them when the microphone is off. But I'm going to finish that sleeve because they're delicious.
I'm going to finish that sleeve.
I'm going to finish that sleeve. If you're watching Altered Carbon, that has an entirely different
Yes, it does.
meaning.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they call your body.
Your new body.
Your new body's a new sleeve.
A sleeve.
Going into a sleeve. Put your stack in a new sleeve.
Now, can you like are you in the body?
Yeah.
Like for a long, or can you
You're-
go in and out and in and out? Like,
Well,
oh, I want to try that
there-
body, or I
there-
want to try that
there are-
body.
if you're wealthy, if you're
Yeah.
a meth, you can do that.
Yeah, if you're rich.
If you're rich, you can do
Or I'm
that.
a girl. I wonder what it's like to be a boy. I'll
Yeah,
go be in a
you
boy.
can do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If you're rich, if you're
Well,
a meth.
with everything's
And
better
they-
when you're rich.
And why do you suppose they call someone who's really rich a meth?
Meth.
Yeah.
Methuselah.
Methuselah.
Will
Methuselah.
never die.
You can live, forever and ever
I wouldn't
because
want
you
to
got
do
the
that.
money. Oh, I don't know. It looks pretty attractive to me.
I would if I could, pick the body
Pick the
that I was
body?
getting,
So I've only watched 2 episodes of that show.
I need to get started.
And it's kind of, there's some parts of it that are confusing. And you just kind of go, now wait a minute, what? It's kind of confusing. But so just for a palate cleanser, after I watched that episode, I went and watched. I remembered I had not seen the very last 2 episodes of Luther with Idris Elba,
Ooh.
and they've been on Netflix forever. The whole series, and the final 2 that he did. So I went and watched one of those because they're pretty, they're straight ahead
he's
and
nice
easy.
to look at.
And he's really good too. I mean, he's just fun to watch act, and they're good people. Oh, who's in it? The final 2 episodes. I thought she looks familiar. It's Rose Leslie. From
Nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah, from Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
is that who that is?
Yeah, yeah.
She's married to him, right?
Or they're engaged.
Or they're getting married.
Yeah, that
right.
won't last
Why do you say that? It might last.
because they're
Sometimes
celebrities.
things last.
They're celebrities.
Question for the female:
Yes.
Is Jon Snow cute without his beard?
Are you asking me or her?
Yeah. I mean, I prefer the beard.
Okay.
But yes, he's
Yeah.
cute.
He's a
pretty
handsome
much
man.
no matter
All right.
what you do there.
Okay.
All right, let's. Guess we should officially get the program started. Now we'll need your check-ins to do that. We can't start this show properly, officially, without people calling in and bringing it from the very beginning to a grinding halt.
Yes.
I'm hoping there are some boat people up early because we have Utah Boat Show and Water Sports Expo tickets. It's returning to Mountain America Expo Center, formerly Southtown Expo Center, February 8th through the 11th. For tickets and more, go to utahboatshow.com.
So when you check in or when you come on board, you should say,
Ahoy!
ahoy! Ahoy, hoy! 877-602-9696, 877-602-9696. Call now. Be a part of the least popular feature we've ever done on this show, the check-ins.
All that and more on the way. Stand by. But first, ranlife.com.
Yes, Ran Life, they'd like you to do them a favor. From the Girl Scouts. And then there's a nice letter say, "Hey Bill, we get you. You're a guy's guy. You have unassuming strength, a casual confidence, and an uncompromising integrity, and are so dumb you don't know this is a form letter."
Wow, they really know who I am.
You know the spread of Sunday's game and have a steak ready to grill and a cold drink waiting in the fridge. You're man enough to be a Girl Scout. So I've been given a membership in the Girl Scouts.
So what do you
And then I got this.
do? You have to sell your own Girl Scout cookies?
No, I
now?
think what that means is they'll hit me up periodically for money.
Yeah, it's a great gift.
Yeah.
Then
I didn't want to
Yeah.
say that what they're doing is opening a door to something that
Yeah.
you will regret later. But
Now I get this card. Now, little Bill, sick. He's sick. He was very ill. Barfing and all that. So that explains the card. And with this card came 3 pairs of really nice underpants. Patagonia, silk weight, boxer briefs.
Underpants.
Which I really like. And they're very, it's expensive underwear. I mean, I think they're $30 a piece or something like that.
you should get a whole pair of pants for that.
So here's the card that came with it. At least I'm too sick to cause trouble. Trouble.
Trouble.
And then you open it up and says, or am I? ?
This is your Father's Day
Yeah.
card.
Fortunately, you can cover your ass with these. Happy Father's Day. That's
Too
it.
sick. At least I'm too sick to cause trouble.
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 Yeah, trouble. And
Or
then
am I?
And then you open it up.
That's a threat.
Or am I?
That's a threat, is what
That's
that
exactly
is.
what it is. So it was my Father's Day threat. Yes. Anyway, that's nice to be a Girl Scout, though.
Snowbird was awesome yesterday for Father's Day. There were a ton of people. Saw lots of friends of the program up there. They had garlic fries. It was perfect. They had bacon on sticks. Big, thick bacon on sticks.
So Gina was happy, and that made it a good Father's Day because she got what she wanted.
Well, no, everybody got. Joe got a massage up at the cliff. Daddy Gary got a massage up at the cliff.
Mm-hmm. But first and foremost, they had garlic
They
fries.
had garlic fries
They had
and
garlic
bacon on
fries.
sticks.
Yeah. I went out to the Christiansen Family Farm, Hog Heaven in Vernon on Saturday and bought a bunch of meat. That was bought pork and beef. And that's actually for my wife's birthday, who's her birthday today. She wanted meat for her birthday.
The gift of meat.
Everybody's got something.
Yeah. You?
No.
Nothing? All right.
What?
What's
I'm not a father.
Well, you didn't see your dad.
I did.
Oh, you did
Oh,
see
you
your
did.
Yeah.
see that. How's he doing?
He's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's his
Did you
mustache?
give him meat?
No, he gives me meat.
Oh, okay.
He's the
Carrie-
farmer.
Harry gives him money.
Yeah, I give him cash.
We've discussed that. Here, Dad. He does it under the table so nobody can see. Yeah, there you go. Hold
Here you
out
go.
your hand.
Buy some more life-giving medicine. There you go.
from Hell Show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 6:18 right now.
It is pretty telling. I've had that guy in the boner file for a couple of, about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
The guy that
Nazi guy?
Trevor Noah was just talking about. And it's pretty telling, though, that, he has no chance of winning, but it's pretty telling that the Republican Party has said, yeah, go ahead and run as a Republican.
You can represent us.
Sure.
They haven't denounced him.
No. Go ahead. Run as a Republican.
Yeah.
We're going to start the show.
They said the same thing to Todd Weiler. Go ahead, run as a Republican. Todd, that was just a joke.
That's not fair.
It was just a joke.
Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org. We should have Todd and Troy Williams come on.
Todd Weiler and Troy Williams, who's the head of Equality Utah. And why
I
would
can
that
see
be?
why having Troy, but why Todd?
No, they've teamed up
Oh, yes, they have.
They have?
for the transgendered.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that I talked to Todd Weiler last night. I was at an event with him, and
Is he related to Todd Weiler? Tide Weiler?
Anyway, so I talked to him last night, and he will be on with us. He's going to coordinate us being up at the Capitol before the legislative session is over, and so we'll do that.
Troy might could come by then.
Absolutely.
Now, because Todd is to his credit sponsoring that legislation.
So yeah, if they're
All right.
there's it's
Okay.
it's a good thing.
Because he's on mute, as far as I'm concerned.
But,
That's why I didn't hear about this.
He's, you know what? I personally like Todd Weiler. I mean, I just like, I could go have a lunch with Todd and let's not talk about politics. Let's talk about other stuff, and we could talk about other stuff.
I maintain that Todd could not keep politics out of a conversation like that.
Well, that
he
might
would
be.
find a way to weasel it in there.
That might be.
Because that's just the way he
might
is.
be. All right, 877-602-9696. Call and check in, and now we will officially begin the show.
All right.
No sponsor?
I read it already.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
What was it?
It was get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus.
Did we do the moon and all that stuff?
No, not yet. Because are you sure you read that, or did you just read it to yourself?
No, I read it.
Okay. All right. The moon is out there, and it is beautiful. It is 32.2% of full. The moon will set today at 12:59 p.m. Today being Friday. And remember, if you're calling to check in, we don't say hump day on this show, and we also don't say TGIF. Don't ever do that. It is Friday, the 9th day of February in the year of our Lord 2018, and this is North America's dingiest radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio. It's Kerry Jackson. It's Bill Allred, me. Hi. It's Gina Barberi over there. And the senior executive producer of the show is Richard Thomas Stedman. Dylan Allred, no relation, is producing video for the show. You can see us at x96.com/live if you dare. And Nick's your buddy, Nick's your pal, helping out today.
Check-ins brought to you by National Auto Plaza. Who builds the best trucks? National Auto Plaza does. Lifted accessories you haven't thought of yet, all to take your next adventure to a whole new level.
All right, let's begin. We'll let me bring this up here, and we'll start with let's see. This is RJ. RJ.
Hello there.
Hi.
Good morning.
Ahoy, Radio from Hell show.
Ahoy!
Come
on
aboard.
board. You may come aboard. Permission to come aboard, RJ. Now, those are your initials. Is your name just RJ, or do they stand for something?
They stand for something.
Like what?
This stands for Radford Joseph.
Radford?
Radford.
Man, I'd go by that if I were you.
I'm Radford.
Hey.
Oh, it's just easier to say RJ over certain times because they would call it Bradford, Redford, Spadford. You know.
Oh, I can see. Yeah, that could
you
be a
would
problem.
have that problem. All right. Well, RJ, anything you want to add to the show before we say man overboard?
Oh, I was going to shout out to one of my favorite comic book geeks over there.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, I know you're talking. You know I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, I guess me.
I listen to your podcast, the whole 9 yards, and I agree.
You do a podcast called The Whole 9 Yards?
Well,
A
it's
football podcast.
it's my secret one.
Oh. All right, RJ, thanks for checking
I just
in.
love listening to Carrie's podcast. I love listening to it.
Thank you, RJ.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Let's go to Amy from Chicago. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Ahoy, mateys.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Permission to come aboard. Amy, what's going on in Chicago?
We're getting buried in snow, and I am enjoying a rare snow day from work.
Oh, well.
You know, we're coming to Chicago in August.
Yes, we are.
Yay! What are
well,
we doing in Chicago when you come?
It's a radio convention.
yeah. But we have time to little time to recreate, so we'll get together with you and say hello and
Yeah,
all
We'll
of that.
definitely have to have a cocktail or two.
definitely.
Two?
An adult cocktail. Because,
Two?
you know, you
Two.
can have a double here.
Listen, I know. Listen, I was last time I was in Chicago. Joe and I, Gina's husband, each had I think 2 double gin martinis, and that was
enough.
that was really bad.
And I remember we went over to that park and they had that concert going and you could buy cocktails there and I was just like, hey, yeah, I'm not used to being treated like an adult. How about that?
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, and immediately I bought a cocktail at the park, and then immediately, instead of drinking it, I handed it to a child.
Here, you're going to like this.
Yeah, here.
I'm going to ruin your life right now.
It's like a slushie. Thanks for checking in, Amy.
It's good to talk to y'all.
Avast!
Thanks for letting me listen.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Tracy is here. Hello, Tracy.
Hi, Lord and ladies. How
Hi.
you doing?
Ahoy,
Good.
Tracy. We're doing fine.
Oh, oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. I have to tell you, my boyfriend's been trying to freak me out. This is the first time I've ever had a chance to call. And he's like, don't say this. Don't say what everybody else is. Don't say, how are you doing? They're
Oh,
fine.
It's okay. You're doing great
yeah.
so far.
It's you're fine. It's okay. He listens pretty closely, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he is. He is listening closely. But we both love you very much. We're playing hooky at work today, on our way to Wendover to see Lee's Liquor Store.
Oh, Lee's
yeah,
Discount
great.
Liquor. Yeah.
Give us a report, and if you want to take pictures and send them to us, we'd be
would
interested to
love
see them.
to.
Okay, we'd
We'd love to.
we'd like to see them. So, and say hello to Mr. Lee for us, will you?
We will say hello to Mr. Lee.
All right.
Please.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys.
All
for
right.
everything.
Well,
Bye-bye.
it's our pleasure, believe me.
Okay, let's see. We got other people checking in here. Let's see. Just got done clearing 5+ inches of snow up here in Wisconsin.
Oh man.
If I can get a solid 70%, that would be great.
Just a note to let you know that even though I'm in New Orleans this AM, I can still catch the show on the app for my morning routine. So
Good.
morning there.
Parts guy Mike checking in. Thanks to Carrie for getting me addicted to Schitt's Creek. It's a funny show.
It is a very funny show.
Yes. Ian here, just taking a friend home after all night drinking. Yay.
Let's just go back to that show. I think it's on Amazon.
Which show?
Schitt's Creek, isn't
It's
it
on Netflix.
Amazon? Is it Netflix?
It is on Netflix.
I use them both. So.
It was on Pop, which is why I could never see it because I didn't have that.
So let's give the spelling to people if they want to look for that show. It's SCHITTS. It's the last name of the family involved in this, and it's Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, and Eugene Levy's son, real son, playing his son, and then I think it's an actress playing the daughter. I think.
Yeah,
But,
they're all good.
Yeah, they're all very funny and really funny. It's about a very wealthy family who kind of lose everything except they find, we own this hotel that we bought. Motel.
It's the town. They own the town.
Oh, they own the whole town. That's
they're
right.
just staying at the motel.
Yeah, and the town is called. Well, they rename it.
No, the name of the town is always Schitt's Creek because the mayor, and it's Chris
Elliott.
Chris Elliott. He's the mayor, and that's his last name, and it's because his family and they have the sign, and as you come into town, it's of his relatives.
It's his family, not
his
Eugene
family.
Levy's family.
No.
That's right. I watched the first 5 episodes, but it was a long time ago, so it's a little hazy.
All right.
But it's a very funny show.
I guess we need to begin.
Okay.
All right. So what do we got coming up? We got Big Boy News, Pinuendo, all coming up
Best question or meh question?
Meh, it's an okay question.
And I had a bloody accident yesterday.
We'll hear about that. Wade Taylor will be here later as well. So round one of your boners also coming up. Let's see. Got to tell you about, Valentine's Day is next week.
Mm-hmm.
It's Wednesday.
But
it's coming.
don't wait till Wednesday,
Wednesday?
to take care of Valentine's Day.
If you've waited this long, if you don't even have an idea yet, you're kind of fumbling already.
See, I thought it was last week, and I'd already missed it.
Well, there you go. You don't listen to me.
No.
It's a Valentine's Day bouquet from ProFlowers. Perfect way to make a big impression. You can choose from the classic red, the gorgeous rose collection. Those are the ones that I have currently. Guaranteed to be delivered fresh and stay fresh for 7 days. And right now, our listeners can send any bouquet to their Valentine and save 20% off any purchase of $29 or more. It's very easy to do, and it'll take you just a minute. Okay, sit down. Hurry and order today. Valentine's Day is next week. To get 20% off your purchase of $29 or more, go to proflowers.com today and use the code X96 in the special codes box at checkout. That's proflowers.com and the code X96. Oh, Gina has traffic.
I do.
Keep forgetting how to radio.
I have a sponsor. Because so far traffic seems to be flowing along just lovely. Brought to you by Octapharma Plasma, making money by making a difference. New donors can earn up to $300 for their first 5 donations. Donate today, 5414 South 9th East in Salt Lake.
All right, thank you very much.
X96 is Utah's original alternative with a 1-hour nonstop.
People think of the content as just over the airwaves, but we do so much more now. We're producing videos daily that we need scripts for. We produce concerts on a weekly basis that we need day logs for. If it wasn't for the help of the people at Valley Office System, our job would be near impossible to do. One of the things I love about Valley Office Systems is they're a joy to work with. Honestly, we are a 24-hour business. We rarely have an issue, but when we do, we let them know, and they're out here just as quickly as possible. Honestly, their service is second to none.
We have late-breaking news from the nursery. Mikkel is on the line. Hello, Mikkel.
Mikkel.
This is Gina's sister, Mikkel.
Hello?
Good morning. Good morning.
Are you at the hospital, Mikkel?
I am. Am I a terrible sister? I'm out here in the hall calling you guys. Why am I doing that?
Because we need to know.
Are you an aunt?
Of course I'm an aunt. I'm the aunt.
Well, she was an aunt
I
before.
know, but are you an aunt
a new
two
aunt.
times over?
Many times over. I don't even know how many times over.
Did Gina have the baby?
Yes, we have a baby.
We've got a baby.
What is it? Is it human?
It's a human baby.
It appears to be human.
Did it come out wearing a little turban and those turned-up shoes?
No, but actually there's a funny story which I can relay.
Okay.
That Joe put in a soothing CD, and out come these sounds of all these monkey sounds. It's like a jungle CD.
It's is it the rainforest? Is that what it was?
It's supposed to be, nice, soothing labor and delivery music. And all of a sudden we hear this. And so then we're out in the hall talking to the doctor who's here. And it's not her regular doctor. And the nurse said, "Don't worry, this doctor's wonderful. In fact, last week or this summer, he delivered the baby orangutan up at the Hogle Zoo."
Oh.
So he's really good.
So Mikkel, it's a little girl. We knew that.
Yeah, Jonesy, she's 7'7".
Okay.
7 pounds, 7 ounces.
And you can braid her hair.
So not that huge.
But a lot of hair, though.
Huh.
But tons of hair.
Did we think she was going to be bigger than that?
She looked bigger than that.
Now.
What? She was huge. What are we talking? What are we mincing words for? Gina looked huge.
She looks beautiful.
Yes, all pregnant women are beautiful and huge. All right.
So 7 pounds, 7 ounces.
But she still is about 10 days early, so she's.
Yeah.
She's a good size.
Well, that's a good size.
And everything. And was it a hard delivery? Easy? Was it?
No, not a peep. Gina didn't say a word. Just 2 pushes and out she popped. It was quick.
The baby just slid right out.
Because she had the drugs, right? That's why she didn't make a
Oh
peep,
yes,
right?
her thumb was going crazy on the bolus. Absolutely.
I'm tired.
There you go. Get out of here.
Well, that's great
That's good news.
Great news. I just had to. Yeah, she's probably going to kill me that I called you guys, but I had to do it.
No, I think she'll be happy you did.
Okay.
Thanks, Mikkel.
Okay, Elsa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, tell her to just relax or something.
Just before 8:40.
Bill Allred, Gina Barberi. What you got there is Radio from Hell on X96.
All right. 6:35. Let's get to some big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Utah Presents brings Scott Sylvan, renowned illusionist, mentalist, and performance artist, on February 10th to Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org.
Okay, thank you.
So I want to begin the news here with a story with a prediction. A prediction that I think will probably come true. And Dylan, it's the one, if you have the video, of this toy that is going to be, I predict this will be the toy that everyone will want this Christmas. I know it's early,
already?
early to predict this, but you know the toy I'm talking about, Dylan? Have you got it? The
He
video?
says no.
It's the pimple popping.
It's not a toy.
Yeah, it is. What do you mean it's not a toy?
Anything pimple popping isn't a toy.
You haven't seen the pimple popping toy. Dylan, do you know where it is now? It's he's got it. Go to x96.com/live and watch the video of the pimple popping toy. It's called Pop It Pal. It's a kit that comes with a hunk of fake flesh.
Oh my God! Really?
In light or dark skin tones.
Oh, that's just sickening.
Light or dark skin tones, and then a bottle of fake yellow pus made from all natural oils, and a filling tool, so that you can refill it with the pus when you're done popping the pimples.
God.
And it's actually a kind of a nice emollient that you can rub into your cuticles and your dry skin. But it's so there are little holes in this piece of latex. And you use your thumbs, and you go like,
this
splooches out.
This is a thing.
No,
It's only $19.99. Refills of pus are available for purchase. So I predict this will be the big toy for Christmas.
This is a thing.
Oh, I know. It pops up in my feed.
Pops up? Pop it, pal.
And I'll be like, I don't want to see that.
People enjoy watching those videos, and they find something satisfying about them.
So, Gina, I want to know why. I want to know why occasionally invitations to porn sites and things like that pop up in my feed, and pimple popping pops up in your feed. What's going on here, huh?
Because of my interest in skincare.
Yeah, that's right.
And so
that's what it. I have an interest in skincare too. Apparently, it's just of a different kind.
More skin.
All right, here we go. An American fork man accused of posing as a doctor and recruiting women for purported medical research in Utah County has pleaded not guilty to 17 counts of felony charges filed against him. Now, I thought about putting this in the boners today, but I'm going to do it here because there's just too much else going on. And the headline read on Fox, Utah County restaurateur pleads not guilty to object rape and forcible sexual abuse. So what this guy allegedly did, Borzan Matagian, he faces 12 counts of object rape and so forth, so on. According to the Utah County Sheriff's Office, 3 women reported that they had each met with Mr. Matagian in Provo, an office there, after responding to ads that were placed on Craigslist.
Okay.
The ads, a statement from the Sheriff's Office said, called for paid volunteers for medical research. Now, he said he was researching a new kind of catheter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, and that's where it went. And all 3 women reported that he, in fact, after having them take off their clothes from waist down, sexually assaulted them with, there's Mr. Matagian at x96.com/live. A 3rd woman told investigators she responded to the ad, met with Matagian in the office, but she left before he was able to sexually assault her in the same manner he had done with the other victims. Restaurateur. So at the very end of the story, it says, records show that Mr. Matagian has been the proprietor of 2 Provo restaurants. Now, I think this is what has forced him into deviancy, because each one of these restaurants, with the names he has given them, could not have possibly succeeded.
Okay.
Name number 1, the Cocoa and Coffee Company.
That's not bad.
And then name number 2, Cafe on Fire.
Well, there's a problem.
I am not gonna go into any place.
It's on fire.
This cafe's on fire. All right. Now you're probably wondering, or you're going to say, well, hey, Bill, aren't you going to be in the news talking about Representative John Stannard?
Yay!
Who left office suddenly. He was in the, he's a Republican. He unexpectedly resigned from the Utah State Legislature. He is a Republican from St. George, elected to the House in 2012. He's a very pro-family life guy. I'm not going to talk about him right now because Mr. Stannard will be in the boners round 1.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
But just so some of you may know what it is already, those of you who don't, wait for the boners. And this is not necessarily the kind of thing I would always put in boner candidates, but Mr. Stannard has apparently made a big deal throughout his political career about family and how pro-family he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, coming up, Mr. Stannard. Let's see now. The House in Washington, D.C. passed a deal. I guess the government shut down last night for about 5 hours while we were asleep. Senator Rand Paul, stood in the way of reopening the government for a while. And he made a good point. He said, the reason I'm doing this is we're voting for a budget here, a budget resolution, which has huge deficits. And back when Obama was president, we said, oh, these Obama deficits, they're going to mortgage our grandchildren's, and now we're just mutely passing this. He said it's the height of hypocrisy. It is the height of hypocrisy, and he is correct. But he sat down after a while, and people voted around him, and so we have a budget. So what we have now is a budget resolution, which will keep the government open for a while again till March. And then we'll come up against this again, and Donald Trump will lean back against a colonnade somewhere or a column and say, well, maybe we need a good shutdown. Shut her down. Shut it down. I don't care. That's the way you do business. That's the way you do business. Shrinky Zinky is coming to town today.
Shrinky Zinky? I haven't heard that.
Ryan Zinky, that's what they're calling him.
I like it.
Shrinky Zinky.
Oh, because he shrinks
shrank the size of the Bears Ears National Monument. He's going to be in town today to make some sort of a announcement about something. some major conservation effort.
Oh boy!
Which I'm thinking probably will be not a
the opposite of
yeah.
conservation.
But people are being urged to protest his visit here. Let him know how you feel about him shrinking the bear's ears and other things that and just go just say, and the horse you rode in on, Mr. Zinke.
Yes.
Secretary Zinke. Shrinky Zinke speaking at the Salt Palace Convention Center. Citizens are urged to gather to stand in support of Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante National Monuments. Using their bodies, it says here, they will illustrate the dramatic shrinking of Bears Ears and Grand Staircase to 15 and 50% of their original size. It's today from 12:15 to 12:45, the plaza on the northeast corner of the Salt Palace Convention Center. Northeast corner. So if you love Bears Ears and Grand Staircase and you are angry and upset that they've shrunk the size of those monuments, Zinke is the guy who was in large part responsible for that at the behest of Donald Trump. So show up for that protest. Oh, shout out to Milo before we go any further. Shout out to Milo.
Hey, Milo.
Okay. I just remembered I promised Milo in the chat room. Can you give me a shout out? I just started listening a while ago, and I love you guys, man. Okay, Milo, there you go. All right, on with some more news. John Kelly, Chief of Staff Donald Trump.
Yep.
In the spotlight again, a place that he doesn't really want to be.
No, he hates it.
Yeah, he hates it, but this Porter guy, was John Porter, who was so he worked in the office with Donald Trump and John Kelly. John Kelly kind of runs the whole show. Porter's job was to make sure that Donald Trump got the right kind of briefings handed to him.
Well, he's the only one who can hand things to the president. Right. You know, someone just can't walk in and hand a proposal or anything to the president. It has to go through him. So he sees a lot of very high classified stuff.
All the paperwork.
You must need some really high security clearance in order to be able to do that.
You would think that.
But Mr. Porter, as it turns out, has not allegedly, it's clear that he beat up two of his ex-wives. And then a third woman who has remained anonymous came forward, and the way her comments or claims about this were made public is she contacted the ex-wives and said, I've been going out with your ex-husband, and he is starting to become dangerous to me, abusive to me. Is that a pattern? And they both said, yes. Yep, get out. Get out.
But so he has this temporary clearance. So the FBI would not give him clearance because one of these wives filed a protective order against him. How is, if you want to go back to Hillary's emails.
I was going to say, she was on the stand for 11 hours because she was careless.
How is this
I don't know.
worse than that?
I don't know. There was a letter from Orrin Hatch that said he was a great guy.
Yes.
Now, I don't know about Orrin Hatch, and it's possible that Orrin Hatch knew nothing about any of the abuse, and just because this guy probably has been great at his job.
You can be totally different at home than you are at work.
And it just made me think of my father, who was abusive at home to my mother and to us, to his kids, and yet if you talk to people he worked with, they'd say, your dad is just the greatest guy. Man, he's a great guy. He's such a smart, sharp lawyer, and he's this and he's that. I have such respect for him.
But even if that's the case, I would think someone that was the chief of staff for Orrin Hatch, they didn't do a background check on him for that?
Maybe not. They didn't have to because he's a return missionary.
I find that
Porter was a return missionary. They didn't have to do a background check.
That's exactly
it. And
he
probably, I don't know, he probably still goes to church. They don't need to do a background check on him. I'm not kidding.
Well, for Orrin. For the president's office, that's a different thing altogether.
Now they did a background check, and this came out. And for Orrin, that's all he needed. And I'm giving Orrin Hatch a break here and saying it's very possible he knew nothing about this.
But they've known about this for a year.
Yep.
Yeah, at the White House.
Yeah, more than a year.
And that's just unconscionable.
Yep.
And why? Wait a minute. So you say, well, why is that unconscionable? Okay, maybe that did happen, but he was really, really good at his job. Do you not ever consider that you're putting people who work at the White House in jeopardy? People like, whatever you think about her, Hope Hicks.
Well,
he starts dating Hope Hicks.
And another reason that this is important to the FBI is because this is something that he could be blackmailed for. So, that's the real concern.
There are two. I mean, I think the other concern is quite real. If you are John Kelly and you know about this, you're saying to the other women in the office, to the women in the office, I don't really care about you. This guy, if you start, and he knows that the guy's going out with Hope Hicks. John Kelly is, they say General Kelly, he's a stand-up military guy. This is the second or third thing that has come to light about John Kelly. He's not such a great guy. He's a racist.
And the White House does not apparently vet their people. I mean, take a look at how many have quit, dropped out, or been fired.
Yeah, and I was going to try and do a funny story here, but I guess we're...
No, I need it. Oh, man.
Well, okay. Well, it's not a funny story, but if your hummus prices going up, there's a shortage of garbanzo beans. Big garbanzo bean shortage.
That's
there may be.
That's not good.
Well, no, it's not. But it's a little lighter than abuse.
A chickpea shortage.
Yeah, we got a chichi bean. I love the fact that you can call them chickpeas, garbanzo beans, or chichis.
Yep. Sports weather traffic.
Wreck your ride. Trust Everest Collision to put your needs on top. Download the Everest Collision app and start your claim. They'll take it from there with locations in Salt Lake, Sandy, Tooele, and Ogden, or go to everestcollision.com. So the Olympics.
They're on the Olympics.
They are. And now the opening ceremony is going on right now. And Amy Donaldson.
Listen, if you listen, you can cowbells. You hear them.
Amy Donaldson's there. And I told you yesterday you should follow Amy AD on Sports on Twitter, Instagram. She posts a lot of good stuff there. But you know who else you should follow?
Yeah.
Leslie Jones.
Oh yes.
Now Leslie
What's
Jones,
she doing there?
she live tweets. She loves the Olympics. And here's the thing about it. She's watching TV.
Oh, she's not there.
No.
Oh, I thought they sent her. Okay.
She's watching TV. I mean, she might go there for part of it.
Because, I mean, it's NBC.
Yeah.
I thought they were all together,
She might be. So she's live tweeting the men's figure skating last night. And she's hilarious. And you should just watch it through her. But Utah's Nathan Chen, not so good.
Really? Oh, that's too bad.
He fell down, was kind of sloppy in his first performance.
Now this is a very preliminary. He can still pull it together, and
he could, but he's been like one of the people that's been touted as.
Somebody said they were watching him in practice yesterday, and the thing that he fell down on in the actual competition part, he was just nailing it the day before.
And it happens.
Yeah.
And it could be he's nervous. He's young, but Leslie Jones really liked him because she said his costume, he looked like he was in Black Panther. It was just this sleek black skin tight outfit. So Leslie really liked it. So follow her for all your Olympic coverage along with Amy.
That's sports.
Yeah, it's sports. And weather. Today the kids have been begging to run through the sprinklers, and I think I'm going to let them.
Well, like you do every February, yeah.
It'll be above 60 today. Now it'll be windy with something blowing in overnight that'll cool things down, and we might even get a tiny bit of precipitation out of it. Traffic. I've heard from friends of the program. Thanks for texting in. Free boot on Pony Express by Vista Heights Junior High.
There we go.
Just one though. Let's see. 123rd South is snow-free. I don't know why anybody thought there would be snow there. Traffic is moving along pretty well so far this morning, but if you see something, you can text it to us, 33986. How would you like to win $1,000? You can by making a film for the annual Radio from Hell Film Festival. Just make sure it's under 5 minutes long, has an American flag in it, and use the phrase, "in your area," in the film. For complete rules and entry deadline, go to x96.com.
All right.
I was just looking at the Amy Donaldson's feed about the Olympics, and she tweeted a picture of the Tongan flag bearer in the opening marching ceremonies, and he is always shirtless, because he wears the traditional thing, and he's a very muscular guy, and he carries the flag, and he doesn't wear a shirt. They said, "Will you be shirtless in this frigid weather.
It's below zero.
He said, "You bet," and he is.
He is, huh?
He's shirtless out
All
there
right.
in the frigid weather.
There you go.
So, got this new bike, this electric bike.
Bicycle.
Yeah, bicycle, and it's pedal assist. And as you pedal, the motor engages, and there are 3 different settings on it. Or you can turn the motor off completely, and there are gears on it as well, like on a regular
That you
bike
shift?
with a chain.
Does
yeah.
it shift itself
No,
if it's in
no,
electric mode?
No, you shift it, and but there are so I have a road bike that has like 32 gears, 32 different gears you can shift through. This one only has, I think, 6. 5 or 6. Pretty simple shifting system. But in each one of the, it's really cool. And there's a mode where you can just you pedal, and it's almost all you. The motor just gives you a little bit. Then there's one that's a step up from that. And then there's one called Sport that really gives you a big boost, motor boost.
And there's one where you can just have the motor, right?
No,
You're not.
not on
okay.
this. Not on this one. Some of them do.
Oh, okay, all right.
Some of them do. Some of them
But
have
this
a
one-
throttle.
this one does not.
This one does not have a throttle.
Okay.
You have to pedal to get it to go. And I've been excited to get this bike for any number of reasons. They're not cheap. But I've been kind of looking around and planning, and I finally got this bike, and I rode it home from the bike shop, which was not far, just 3 minutes away from my house, and I get it in the garage. So yesterday I get it out, and I'm going to go for a big ride. I'm going to try it out for real, and I've ridden it around the bike shop, and so I get it all set up, and I get the computer all set up working right, and it has clip-in pedals, and I have the shoes that you do that with, and I get it out into the driveway, and I'm set to go, and I got all my gear, and I'm going to go up to the grocery store and to the liquor store and make some purchases and errands and stuff. And I thought, am I going to wear a helmet? No, I'm not going to wear my helmet. I got all this other equipment and gear. I'm just not going to wear it. I don't want to bother with it. And I'm in the driveway, and I put on my clip in the pedal, and I start to throw my leg over the seat and push on the pedal, and for some reason I didn't have enough push or something, and it didn't move. The bike didn't move, so it didn't move forward, so I went over sideways.
Because you're clipped in? And
My one foot was clipped in, and I went over sideways. I couldn't stop myself because the foot that was on the side, the pedal was clipped in, and there was a fence, a wooden fence, which my head struck very hard right here.
Bill?
And I'm down. Now I didn't black out, but I went, oh, this is not good. And I'm lying there trying to assess the damage, and my head is throbbing, and I put my hand up there, and I have a pair of gloves on. And I said, I don't want to look at the glove. And I bring in my hand, and my glove is soaked in blood.
Because anytime you cut your head, it bleeds a lot.
Oh my God! And it hurt. But I get up and I go up, and I said, "Go get your mother." I'm sitting on the porch outside. Go get your mother. She comes down, starts looking at it, and cotton and antiseptics and all of that. And she said, I don't think you need stitches. Although you remember the last time she told me I didn't need stitches when I hit my head a few years ago at the Big Ass Show, and then the paramedic said, why didn't you get this stitched up? But I trusted her. You don't need stitches. But I said, okay, well, I'm going to go. Then I'm going to go get on the bike. And she said, no, you're not.
After all that, you were going to go again?
Yeah. She said, you have to sit down. We have to do the protocol and make sure that you are not concussed or you're not going to pass out. All right. So I wasn't. I'm fine. My head hurts a little bit, and I have kind of a headache.
Wear your helmet.
Yeah, and I was just, I had it, and I went, oh, I've got all this other gear that I've been dicking around with. I'm just done,
And traffic's fine. Move along.
Okay. And I didn't hurt my bike. That's the bike's fine too.
Bike's fine.
Oh man, it hurt.
Well, if you're ever in an accident,
Yeah, now this one I can't sue myself.
No, you can't sue yourself.
I'm going to call the advocates.
And it's not about suing people.
No.
It's about getting what you deserve when you've been injured in an accident.
Yeah, suing people. No, it is. So, I mean,
people are reluctant to call.
Sometimes lawsuits are involved in this kind of stuff.
But people are because people are like, well, I'm a nice person. I don't want to sue anybody. I just want my medical bills taken care of.
If you have been in an accident and it's not, and you know it's not your fault, then you call the advocates. 801-355-5550. You call them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because the insurance company's not going to help you out.
Oh, no.
They're going to try and settle with you without, let's not we don't need to get any lawyers involved in this. We'll here.
They're trying to get out of paying as little as possible.
They don't want to pay what you have coming to you. The advocates will help you get it, and they won't charge you any money unless they get you a settlement. So it's 801-355-5550, or you can go to their website, utawadvocates.com.
On this week's brand new episode of Geek Show, we look at Altered Carbon, Black Panther, X-Files, plus a whole lot more. I also learned that apparently I'm very close to Mickey. It's me and my geeky friends talking about the stuff we love. Find us at geekshowpodcast.com, the X96 app, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. It's free and not safe for work. The episode's name is Coral. You'll have to figure out why.
geekshowpodcast.com.
You know who's on the line? Who? I believe this is the impetus to the first all-day show.
Candace.
Candace?
Yes.
How now, you were there for the first all-day show. Oh, yeah.
I was, as Carrie said, I was the something from the radio gods, the idiot or something.
No.
Not so much. He didn't really
The
say
gift
that.
from the radio gods.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, yeah.
But
And
you-
I was the one that brought the alcohol.
You are the first, you were the one who started the tradition of bringing us booze.
Exactly. And I'm so upset. Y'all got pedicures and I didn't.
Well,
I would have liked one.
Well,
you should have asked.
Well, I was in and out of the house all day.
Candy Bear.
Well, then you couldn't.
Then you couldn't have gotten one anyway.
Candy Bear, I'm not sure what.
Did you say Candy Bear or
Yeah.
Daddy Bear?
Candy Bear.
Oh, that's cute.
You're
Better
my-
than Candy Ass.
You're my little Candy Bear.
Who is this?
Don't you know?
No, I don't know.
Who is this?
It's your mother.
I think
Hi.
Candy's
Candy?
been drinking today already.
Candy, hi, it's Mitt
No,
Candy, hi,
I
it's Mitt
haven't.
Romney.
Candace,
Ew.
do you have any idea what you're listening to or where you are?
It's a country station, and I'm in Texas. No, of course I do, you silly gooses. That
Candy?
was ridiculous.
Candy Bear?
Don't call me Candy, please. My dad hated that.
It's Candace.
It's Candace, Carrie.
Yes, it's Candace.
If
Bill,
your dad
and I
hated
will-
that, he shouldn't have named you Candace.
Yeah.
He's no longer living. That's rude.
Well, I'm sure his feelings are hurt.
Did you call us Candace?
Yes, I did, and
she
I
did.
meant to get abused.
Okay, because I thought maybe the interns had called you and then
No, nobody
just picked your name
remembers.
out of a phone book or something. Nobody
You
remembers.
wish.
Nobody remembers what, Candace?
Any of this.
Any of.
And I'm even on the CD, and I'm so sad.
She's
I'm
the
joking.
she's the phone call. She's the reason.
She's the reason that we did the,
story.
because I didn't get a chance to
Yeah.
tell my Hawaii story.
No,
And-
it
or
was your Vegas.
My Vegas story.
Vegas
my
story,
Vegas
that's
story.
right.
Exactly.
And
And Carrie, I saw you at that one clothing store. I don't remember.
You remember, Carrie?
was
Oh,
was I
yeah,
was I was I buying my garments?
It was that
Was
one
it that
clothing
one?
store.
That one
No.
clothing store?
I don't know what you call him. Come on, help me out. A thing.
You
A
know,
management,
a thing.
Whatever.
I can.
Oh,
I can,
was it a remote?
You know, I can see why you were the impetus for the all-day show because it takes all day to get anything out of
Holy
you.
crap! You've been doing this all day. I'm tired too. And yes, whatever.
She's
But
drunk.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm just embarrassed.
Candy Bear?
This is the note you want to go out on.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, no,
Oh, Candace, you've been rickrolled. I'm sorry.
God bless you, Candace.
All right.
I'm glad that somehow you started the all-day show, but no, that's not the note we want to go out on.
Well, we got 20 minutes.
But as with all of our all-day shows, I seem to remember that they go out not with a bang, but a whimper.
I've been whimpering for the last hour and 20 minutes.
They just kind of peter out at the end. So,
well, Gina, I'm used to your whimpering.
It's what I do.
.05 right now.
Best question of the week brought to you by Prohibition is back, an all-new restaurant and bar in Murray, north of Fashion Place Mall. Weekends are a roaring good time at Prohibition. Events and information at prohibitionutah.com.
Yes. It is best question of the week. Well,
is it?
Best is debatable.
Well, it's good enough that we're going to give them a Prohibition gift card.
Yeah. It's a nice price.
Well, what?
All right.
What's the question?
The question is from Ben. Good morning, Kentucky Colonels.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
He gets right to it.
Okay.
Doesn't mess around. Just gets right to the question.
Good.
Do you have a book, movie, or TV show that you thought going in would be total garbage, and then found out it was great?
Something that it surprised you.
Something
like
that surprised you.
I mean, I can give you more instances of, things that people said, no, you have to see this. This is great. And I go,
yeah, there are a lot of those.
Not. Like Grease, for instance.
Shut up! It is too.
But
So the first thing I thought of, and I'm sure there have been others, but I've never really cared about Legos. I have. I mean,
okay.
My kids like them, but so when the Lego movies, Mom, can we go to the Lego movie? I'm like, all right, I'll take you to the Lego movie. Not thinking it will be one of those where I nap during it. That movie was hilarious. Jokes for parents, jokes for kids, really well done. So much so that it won me over that I couldn't wait to go when the Batman Lego movie came out because they did such a good job with the first one. And I had zero expectation for enjoying that at all. But I was immensely entertained. And I thought the Batman one was even better. You still haven't seen that, have you?
No, I have.
You did see that Lego Batman?
Yeah.
Very, very,
very funny.
But no expectation.
No expectation.
No.
There you go.
Jeez, I know I have some, and I just can't.
Because often I take the kids to movies they want to see, and it's nap time. You go to the movie theater with the big cushy seats, and you check out. But I was thoroughly entertained by that. And that's the one the Geek Show guys were at.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like I can think of. What was that samurai book that was so popular years ago that they made it into a TV movie? You know,
Samurai book. TV movie?
Richard Chamberlain?
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, what is that?
What's it called? And the book was just hugely popular, and I thought, you know, this crap. It's that kind of crap fiction, but it's real big, thick book, you know.
Shogun.
Shogun, yeah, thank you.
Oh, there you go.
And I thought, this is gonna be, but I don't know. There was a copy of it sitting there, or something. I
You
was
were on
living,
a park bench.
I was living in New York. I don't know. I didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to me. Said, no, really, it's great. And it's before they ever did the TV movie of Shogun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember, wait, this is really entertaining. And
Were you embarrassed to say that you liked
well,
it?
no, because everybody was reading it. I mean, you know, it's just I was just another schmo then reading Shogun, but it was actually very entertaining. And there have been other books like that are kind of popular bestsellers, and I think, I don't want to read that because it's just. And then I start.
And then you find out why.
Like when I tried to get you to read.
Like
when I tried to get you to read the Dan Brown books. Come on, Bill.
I did read it too, the Da Vinci Code, and I was right. I started reading it, and it was a little entertaining, and then it just got stupider and stupider, and by the end of that book, I'm going, damn you, Sheena! Read this, is horrible.
I was just sitting here thinking, during the commercial, there's a bunch of TV shows that I went into thinking that they would be awful, and it turned out that there's actually something there. There's something, and I made a list.
Okay, good.
Odd Mom Out, a show I shouldn't be watching.
I don't even know that show. What?
It's about these moms in New York. I shouldn't be watching it, but it's enjoyable. Episodes. I didn't think that Episodes was going to be anything because I hate Matt LeBlanc.
But he's really good.
But he does it,
and it's funny.
There was a show, Con Man, is what it's called, and it's the I keep forgetting his name, Wash from Firefly.
Yeah.
Why do I keep forgetting his name?
Because nobody remembers it.
But he wrote and produced it about being a guy who attends these science fiction conventions as a celebrity and his experiences. I didn't think there was going to be anything
Sounds
there,
dumb.
but it is. It's great. The Baroness von Sketch Show.
You play stuff from that.
You know, I was told, well, it's an improv troupe, an all-women improv troupe from Canada.
Well, that doesn't sound
And
good
at
all.
I went, well, all right. But they're brilliant. A show called American Housewife that is currently
Again, that's not for you.
Not
that's
for me. But it's got some funny stuff in there.
Alan Tudyk.
Thank you.
Thanks to the chat room.
Superstore was a show that I didn't think
that
I
is
would
a
like.
good show.
And it's very funny. Another show, Wrecked. It's on TBS, I believe. And it's about these people who their plane crashed on an island.
I'm surprised you.
That's Lost, isn't it?
You give this many chances to shows you think are going to be crap.
Yeah.
I applaud you for wading into them.
I'm always on the lookout.
Well, really, Schitt's Creek was that kind of a show.
And
for me.
Schitt's Creek was.
I thought, I don't want.
A show that I should not be enjoying is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
That's really good.
There is nothing
Because
there for me at all.
They're singing in it.
They're singing.
Yeah.
It's a musical show. There's nothing there for me at all, but it is enjoyable as hell.
It is excellent.
Another show, Another Period, which is it takes place back a long
history.
It's history. You know, but then the most recent one, and Sue helped me discover this one, is the new Queer Eye show on Netflix.
Well, it's just been on for a couple of.
It just landed.
Yeah.
And when Bill Frost told us about that, I went,
yeah.
Okay, I saw the original Queer Eye show, and Sue has started watching this new one, and they've changed it slightly in that it's not just straight guys that they help.
Because that was the premise of Queer Eye for the straight
That's
guy.
why it was called
right
that.
in the.
Yeah, they help people who just need to get their S together, you know, and a lot of times it's helping gay guys who are just not very good at being gay guys, and they haven't come out yet, for example.
I'm not a very good gay guy.
But Sue is really into it, and she found out that one of the guys on the show, one of the regulars, I think it's the fashion guy, apparently lives here in Salt Lake, or according to his Instagram, he's all over Salt Lake City.
He's got an interesting name too.
Tan France.
Tan France. Does anybody know Tan France?
We got to get Tan on the show.
If you know Tan France,
send him our way. We'd like to talk.
Yeah,
to
have him call in or get a hold of us.
But yeah, if his Instagram is to be believed, I mean he's at Lizzie's Kitchen. He's outside of that Eve restaurant or whatever it is over here on Main Street. Eva, that's it. If it's to be believed, he lives here.
Yeah,
So-
there are books and authors that I give second chances to that I do end up liking. Like I read a Neil Gaiman book some time ago, and I went, I don't like this. Isn't and then because of the American Gods TV show, I thought, well, I'll give Neil Gaiman another chance, and I started reading the Book of American Gods, which is fantastic.
So give things a chance.
Yeah, TV is really a big one too. Yeah.
Do you want to send in a best question of the week? Email it to us, radiofromhell@x96.com. Put best question in the subject line.
Antiques Roadshow. Listen, for years I just went, why is this one? And I started watching it last year. I love it.
Crash southbound I-15 at 43rd South. That's the only accident being reported this morning. Let me check our message stream quickly because friends of the program are nice and like to send in things that they see at 33986 and nothing new there. That's traffic.
Somebody says that Tan France works out at the same gym that they do. Don't know him personally, but so what gym is that? If it's the one I go to, I'll find him.
Tell him we want him on the show.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got Boner. Round one.
So I got them right here for you. Round one of the boners. Round one, number one. The Claw. The Claw. Boner candidate number 2. My dad has cancer. And boner candidate number 3. Girls must learn to say yes, not no.
Oh, I'm glad you're doing that one. That one makes me mad.
Round one of your boner voting coming up after these, along with Big Boy News and Opinioendo. And once again, I have to remind you, your mother and I have talked.
Yes.
And I guess I'm the one who has to remind you that Valentine's Day is coming.
I knew it was going to be the Valentine's Day talk again.
Yep.
Well, if you just order your flowers.
I will.
If you'd hurry up and do this, we wouldn't have to have this conversation.
I still have time, though.
Yes, you do. Valentine's Day is on Wednesday. It's next week. And the Valentine's Day bouquet from Pro Flowers, perfect way to make a good impression. The classic red roses from the Gorgeous Rose collection. They're the ones that I currently have on my table. Or you could try something new. They have a huge assortment of unique bouquets and plants. And right now, because you're hearing my voice, you can send any bouquet to your Valentine, and you'll save 20% off any purchase of $29 or more. So it's a very good deal. Go in, take a look, pick a bouquet. You got to hurry and order this today. Valentine's Day is next week. So to get 20% off your purchase of $29 or more, go to proflowers.com today. Use the code X96 in the special codes box at checkout. That's proflowers.com and the code X96.
Shortness of breath, high blood pressure, shortened life expectancy. I'm not talking about smoking. I'm talking about the air we breathe in Utah. That's why Broadway Media is presenting a special 1-hour broadcast across all 7 of our local Utah radio stations. This special broadcast will be Friday, February 16th at 9 a.m. and is presented commercial-free by Rocky Mountain Power. Find out more about the air we breathe and how you can become an air hero at BroadwayMedia.com.
I'm at a taste test for reactions to these all-natural.
Yeah, I enjoyed that class yesterday.
You did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Well, you don't have to come to them.
Why would you think that I don't want to come?
Carrie, I have because I am one of the kings of sarcasm, I note sarcasm in your voice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He had a great
I thought
time.
it was a grand waste of time. I'll be quite honest with you. All right? Because in those classes, there's maybe 5 kids who are actually interested in radio, and the rest of them are getting an easy credit.
Carrie.
So the first thing we do when we get to the class is we say, all right, first of all, who's here for an easy credit? And those people who raise their hand,
leave. Go right now. We'll sign a form, whatever it takes. Just get out of here.
You would deny a college student an easy credit? What kind of a Grinch are you?
I'm not denying them an easy credit. If it were up to me, we would close down the college radio stations, but we don't. That's an easy credit. They can do that. While I'm there, I don't want to deal with people who just don't want to be there. That's why I don't speak to schools. That's why I hate that stuff.
Now, be honest. You don't speak to schools because you're not allowed.
There's
usually.
that true.
You
That's
used
true.
to speak to schools.
You see the basis of education. And by the way, the kids that want to be there, they just sit there like lumps anyway.
No, there were a couple of them in the back talking. One who arrived 20 minutes late, and then he sat in the back talking with his buddy.
I didn't see that. When he came in late, I almost said to him, why are you bothering? Why don't you just leave?
You know, and he's sitting in the back talking with one of his friends, and I'm like,
You should have said something. I didn't notice that.
I didn't either.
I nearly did, but then he shut up because I started staring him down.
If you can just touch one child.
I don't need.
all.
Look,
I don't want him touching any children.
I don't.
That's why
that's
he's
true.
not allowed. Well,
I don't need to understand education. I'm not trying to take away their breeze through their, college degree. I'm there for an hour. That's all. 5 students who are interested. That's great. Everybody else take off. We'll sit and have a chat with 5 people. I'll touch those 5. That's good.
All right.
Especially that Heidi from yesterday. She was really cute. But anyway.
See again why he's not allowed.
She was very interested in what we were doing.
She was
wanted
very
to
interested.
learn.
And I heard her on the radio, on the college radio station. She's very good. I think someday we'll be working with her.
Maybe not now that you said that.
No, I'm
not as.
I don't want to work with those guys.
Not her partner Pickle, of course, but.
Well, it was Pickle and the turd bag. What was the other guy?
Pickle, Turd, and
Carl.
Heidi, I think is what it was. Oh yeah, Carl.
His name's Carl.
Apparently, we made Carl cry.
Really?
Is what
Yeah,
I was
I heard
told.
he was laying on the floor of the break room.
So and again,
Crying.
if we can discourage someone from getting into radio, that's also
Your job is done.
Particularly you, Carl.
Already, we started with Carl. He's done. He will not be in radio anymore. So mission accomplished
some
at
good
Cedar
has
City.
happened.
Some good has happened.
And think of it this way too. Carl will go on to better things. He will be a professional clown that entertains at kids' parties. That's what he'll be good
the
at.
creepy clown with the Cro-Magnon brow is what he will be.
Barberi on Twitter at RFHGina. Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, 7:21. Time now for round 1 of your boner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide of these 3 stories which one is the worst. Which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it goes up against the winner of round 2. Round 2 is at 8:20, and we put them both in the Boner Dome for Boner Fight at 9:20. So 2 candidates now, third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boners will receive
a gift certificate to go see our friends at Gracie's.
Yes.
Was it yesterday or the day before in the Boner candidates? We had Nikki Haley being pranked by the Russian morning show into saying that she'd heard of an island nation that didn't exist.
That was a couple days ago. Yeah.
And then in the next round, and it kind of balanced it out, and I liked that. Adam Schiff,
also being
pranked by the morning show, the Russian morning show, into saying that they told him that they had naked pictures of Donald Trump, and would you be interested in that? And he said, "Why, sure, yeah, I'd be interested. We'd be interested in having that material." And we commented that he should have said, "I'm not interested. You need to turn this over to the FBI." And that's why he was a Boner candidate.
Yeah.
As it turned out, I read more of the story, more of what Adam Schiff said. He did say that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He said, our committee would be very interested. Yes, we would like to get that material, and we will give it to the FBI.
We will give it to the FBI. Okay.
That's essentially what he... So I kind of wanted him to be on the hook because I think Democrat and Republican alike, they can just be idiots.
Sure.
And I thought he was being an idiot, but he did say, so shifty Adam Schiff. Anyway.
No, it's little Adam Schiff.
Well, I know. It should be shifty.
It should be shifty.
It should be, but,
It's little Adam
I'm
Schiff.
sorry. This is a presidential decree of a nickname. You have to go with it.
So I wanted to clear that up before we got into the Boner candidates. I had made that note, and I just wanted to make sure we got that. All right. Boner candidate number 1 is the claw. The claw. Now, you remember the claw machine from
Toy Story. Yeah.
Was my favorite part.
That was your favorite part?
That was my very favorite part of Toy Story, was the claw machine and the little Martian guys down in there. Well, firefighters have responded to a Florida restaurant because a young boy, he looks to be about 6.
There it is. There's video at x96.com/live. The fire department there.
Climbed into one of those claw machines to get a stuffed animal and couldn't get out.
How old?
6.
He looks, it just says a young boy. He looks 5, 6. Titus, and he's the boner here.
Yeah.
Titus,
So he's not a toddler.
No. He knew what he was doing. And he was trying to steal a stuffed toy.
Right.
Titusville Fire and Emergency Services confirmed crews responded to the... But, he's probably a typical customer at Beef O'Brady's.
There's a place called Beef O'Brady's?
In Titusville, Florida.
Now, is it Beef the first name and
it's
then...
Beef O with a little...
apostrophe?
Yeah, apostrophe.
So it's like
Brady's.
Like a name.
Like
Beef O'Brady's.
Like a St. Patrick's kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
In Titusville on Wednesday. Small child stuck inside the claw machine. The boy climbed inside in an attempt to, it says here, procure, I would say steal, a stuffed animal, and found that he was unable to climb back out. Crew said the boy was not in danger, but removed from the machine successfully and returned to his, I'm sure, delicious meal at Beef O'Brady's.
An Irish steakhouse.
Boner candidate number 1. The claw. The claw. Boner candidate number 2. My dad has cancer. That's my dad. My dad has cancer. Okay, Utah legislators responded to a report that a Utah House member abruptly resigned on Tuesday night because it was about to become public that he had met an online escort for sex twice last year. The Daily Mail, British publication, quotes Bree Taylor, saying that now former Representative John Stannard of St. George paid her $250 for sex twice at the Fairfield Inn here in Salt Lake. The Deseret News has not independently confirmed these allegations, but this is the Deseret News report of it. Utah House Speaker Greg Hughes issued a brief statement Wednesday saying, Mr. Stannard stepped down for personal reasons. That's it. It's been a hard week.
His father's sick.
It's been a hard week, Hughes said.
It's just a coincidence.
He said, I've got bigger concerns than this.
Now, the Deseret News doesn't have the text messages. Oh, but the Daily Mail does.
Now, Stannard claims that he... do you have the Daily Mail up in front of you there?
Of course I do.
Of course. She loves the British press.
Yes. I have it right here, too. This is... Stannard had said... Well, we'll get into it in the news. This is still just Boner candidate number 2. So he said he was resigning before this came out. I've got to leave. My dad has cancer, and I have to go take care of him. He's at the end of his life. He's a married father of 3 from St. George who stresses family values.
He's one of those guys, yeah. And was against gay marriage, too.
No, not only that, legislation to be tougher on prostitution.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So that's
very.
I was reading it to you yesterday.
Specifically.
We'll get into it here.
Oh, we're not going to do the whole thing?
We'll get into it in the news.
Oh,
this is just still Boner Candidate number 2. My dad has cancer. Coming up in a moment, Boner Candidate number 3. Girls must learn to say yes, not no.
All right. Boner Candidate number 3, coming up after this here Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, featuring corned beef, pastrami, mustard, and pickles, imported from New York City. Now serving breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Saturday, dinner Thursday through Saturday, featuring local live music Friday and Saturday nights. 20th East, 27th South. Go to feldmansdeli.com.
Now, before we talk more about Mr. Stannard, I just want you to know that there's a suspect in England. He's in jail in England, and he has refused to poop for 3 weeks.
Wow.
The cops have been watching him. 3 weeks it's gone on. He has refused to poop. He's got some evidence hidden inside of himself, they believe, and they're watching him closely, and they're wondering, how long can a human being go?
Well, is he eating? If he's not eating,
I don't.
I would say he's already medically in danger.
3 weeks.
Because there's a lot of toxins.
He's been watched very closely. I'm sure he's eating something. So anyway.
Break out the prune juice.
I can do that when I go camping. I don't poop when I camp.
Yeah, and when would you ever go camping for 3 weeks?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't poop when I camp, so.
Well, so you're not like the bear in
No,
the woods?
I'm not.
All right, now let's get into talk about Mr. Stannard, this married Republican who voted for stricter laws against prostitution. Is a family values guy here in Utah. He has abruptly resigned after an escort claims that he met her twice for sex. Call girl Bree Taylor, this is according to the Daily Mail, claims that John E. Stannard paid her for sex during 2 business trips to Salt Lake City in 2017. I guess 2 business trips, that means her trips?
No. When he came up to Salt Lake for the legislature.
Yeah, when he's up in town.
All right. The 2 exchanged text messages and arranged to meet in Salt Lake on at least 2 occasions last year. In one particular exchange, Taylor, the prostitute, Bree, asked Representative Stannard if she should bring any accessories, toys, or maybe a corset.
No, he asked her to bring it.
Oh, that's right.
He
Stannard
requested
asked
it.
her. Yeah, asked her.
Now, the text messages, it is his phone number, and it's the number he had listed on his official way. It's him.
So he's not too smart either.
No.
And she said, I'm surprised he didn't give me a fake name. He gave me his real name.
The conservative politician was elected to the Utah House of Representatives in 2012. He has 3 children, and this is horrible for them. And his wife is Leanne. He is 43 years old, and he voted last year in favor of stricter laws on prostitution, including increasing the penalty for soliciting sex to $2,500. And his website says, I'm a strong advocate for conservative family values. I am pro-life as well as for traditional marriage. There's plenty more details in the Daily Mail if you want to find them.
I'll tweet it out because it's fun to look at the text messages.
Yeah, but again, I would say it is fun, but in the back of your mind, remember, it's not fun for his kids.
No, but
and his wife.
But this happens over and over and over again. Whoever's speaking the loudest about we got to rein this in or that in. You look a little closer, they're doing.
It happens. Seems to happen frequently. Well, there's some. She's not shy about giving details. Bree is not shy about giving details. So. All right. Speaking of the Utah State Legislature, a bill that would bridge the gap between medical. There are a couple of bills about medical cannabis, and apparently they've managed to kind of cobble together something that makes the chance of passing a law here in Utah to have medical marijuana a reality. A Republican insider who's met with Representative Lee Perry says he's confident that Perry will come up with a workable medical marijuana program in the state, and that there's a good chance of it being passed and ultimately dissuading Utahns from voting for an initiative that aims for legalization of medical cannabis to a greater extent. So Perry had said, I want to pass a law. There's a petition drive out there right now.
Yeah.
He said, I want to get a law in place that would kind of negate that petition. I don't want that to happen. But Lee Perry and some members of the Senate have tried to find something that will bridge that gap between Brad Daw and perhaps the referendum that is tragically flawed and goes further than most people realize, said Jeremy Roberts, a member of the Utah Republican Party. So there's all this marijuana stuff swirling around.
That just makes me want to get that petition when I hear him talk about it that way.
This is interesting. I don't know. Now, Jeremy Roberts is a member of the Utah Republican Party. He also runs a company called Medical Cannabis Payment Solutions.
Payment Solutions.
Well, because it's the cash business thing.
So is he a money launderer, essentially?
That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like he's going to benefit.
Well, they have to set up new banks, ways of banking. So you can't walk in with a huge roll of money that you got from selling marijuana into a regular bank. They'll flag it, and the federal government will confiscate it. So you have to do, and this is all the medical dispensaries around the country have this problem. Medical recreation and medical dispensaries. They have the problem. So what do? Well, they have to come up with new banking solutions, and it's all cash based. So I'm thinking that's probably what this is a company like that will, and for a fee, they take that money and
we'll make your money clean.
Yeah. Let's see now. This is Salt Lake School Board has renamed an elementary school here in Salt Lake. The Jackson Elementary is the school, and it's now it's going to be called Jackson Elementary.
Well,
so they renamed it to Jackson Elementary. Now, previously, and they said we did some research and we found out everybody's just always called it Jackson Elementary. So we did some research and we found out back in whenever the school was founded that I guess it was named after Andrew Jackson.
Makes sense.
President Andrew Jackson, who was, of course, a racist. He was a states' rights president who wanted to see slavery extended into other around the country. Also responsible for the genocide of Native Americans.
Trail of Tears.
The Trail of Tears. Yep. That's all Andrew Jackson. He was our bloodiest, perhaps our bloodiest president, or one of our bloodiest presidents.
Well, that's play, bloody Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
And he's Trump's favorite.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So they've decided they will rename the school Jackson Elementary. It will be named for Mary Jackson, who was the NASA engineer that Hidden Figures movie.
So in Hidden Figures, if you remember the three women, Janelle Monáe played Mary Jackson.
You know, that's a movie I didn't think I'd really like. I thought it would be too corny. To go back to our best question I thought it would be too corny, and it was a little corny, but in the good ways, in the right ways, and it was a really good movie. Anyway, they've renamed it Jackson Elementary.
I think that's nice.
Well, yeah,
good for them.
Yeah. They did have some other names that they were. Well, they were thinking of
Carrie Jackson Elementary.
Well, that was not on the list.
Not
Carrie,
on the list.
No. They were going to either name it Mary Jackson Elementary, Fair Park Elementary, that's the neighborhood where the school is, or Rising Elementary School.
Rising?
Yeah, I
think they did fine with Mary. Yeah,
Mary Jackson. I like that.
Weather, traffic.
Weather brought to you in part by climate change and also Boozteak, 315 East Broadway in downtown Salt Lake. You should go shop there for Valentine's Day. Accessories for wine, cocktails, corkscrews, cocktail shakers, copper mugs, locally made cocktail bitters from Beehive Bitters Company, fun gifts, more accessories for your home bar, Boozteak. So today, really warm and windy. We could get over 60 today for a high. It will have some bit of precipitation blow in overnight, and it will cool down quite a bit tomorrow and feel like it should, or at least closer to it. Crash eastbound I-80 at milepost 99. This is in Lake Point in Tooele. Crash southbound I-15 43rd South in Salt Lake. And looks like that's it. That's traffic.
By the way, we're having a meeting up in Ogden this weekend. We're going to change the name of Jackson Avenue in Ogden. We want to change it to Mary Jackson Avenue.
Oh, I thought you were saying like Carrie Jackson.
Well, Carrie's not from Ogden.
Well, I didn't live there long enough, really, I think.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. Girls must learn to say yes, not no. West Haven, Utah.
This made me mad.
That's out. It's out in Weber County. It's out by the lake. Yeah. When Natalie Richards' 6th grade daughter told her she couldn't say no if a boy asked her to dance at the Canesville Elementary Valentine's Day dance, she didn't believe it at first. Well, no, honey, Natalie said. You guys are misunderstanding again. That's not how it is. You can say no to a boy if he wants to dance with you.
Of course you can.
However, after speaking to her daughter's teacher, she realized that her daughter was correct. She did not misunderstand. The teacher said, no, she can't say no. She has to say yes. She has to accept a dance invitation. And I said, what? Excuse me? This is according to a report in Fox 13. Ms. Richards took her concerns to the school principal, and he basically said, now this is according to her, he basically said that they had this dance set up this way for a long time, and they've never had any concerns about it before. Lane Finley with the Weber School District confirms it is a rule. But he says it is meant to teach students how to be inclusive.
This is not the way to go about it.
No, I understand
teaching young
kind of
girls that they can't say no to boys.
I kind of understand what they're trying to do here, because people get left out.
That's
they
true,
get,
but
here's what
I see it from their perspective when it comes to that. Said the mother, but there are ways to teach children how to be accepting than with a social dance.
And here's what I've told my kids about these things. Because there's been this thing at my kids' school where kids ask each other to be their Valentine. It's a harmless thing. But I've told both of them. Yeah. I've told both of them, just because somebody likes you doesn't mean you have to like them back. But be kind.
So look at Bill and I, you said.
Yeah. but be kind.
Yeah. Dylan, you got to...
Yes, Dylan.
My 6th grade dance was emceed by Bill Allred. And at that dance in 6th grade, in elementary school, right. First off, the problem is you shouldn't have dances in elementary school.
No. Yes, I
But
agree.
if you're going to, how it worked when I was in school was you had a card. There are 12 dances. And by the way, they're not slow dancing. You're standing by somebody and doing the dances they taught you in gym class.
Yeah.
And you have 12, and you go around and ask people to fill out your dance card.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they said, if you're asked to dance with somebody, don't just sign their card.
Just sign it.
Mm-hmm.
And as a little fat nerdy kid with glasses who was new at the school that year, who wasn't Mormon, who they didn't know from church, who nobody would have danced with, I'm kind of glad that they had a rule of,
inclusion. It was a way to include
not to go against the boner candidate. The boner is you shouldn't have dances in elementary school.
So that is the other side of what's going on there.
And by the way, it's not. I would imagine it's not just by gender. Boys, if a girl came and asked a boy, he would dance with. He would have to dance with her as well.
Yeah.
But there are different messages sent to girls.
So here's the message. Here's the message. What it should be is you can say no. Just don't say ew no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Be kind.
Let's review the first two and vote.
So we had boner candidate number 1, the Claw. This little stupid kid at Beef O'Brady's restaurant in Titusville, Florida, trying to steal a stuffed animal from inside the claw machine. He got trapped. I think they should have just left him there. And then boner candidate number 2, my dad has cancer. That's why I'm resigning from the state legislature, said Utah lawmaker John Stannard. Well, no, that's not the case, really. The reason he's resigning is because it's come out that he's, at least on 2 occasions, met with a prostitute at a hotel here in Salt Lake. And boner candidate number 3, girls must learn to say yes, not no.
All right, here we go. You got to decide which one of these 3 candidates is the worst. Which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and get a 50-50 chance to become boner of the day. It'll go up against the winner of round 2. Round 2 happens at 8:20. And then we make them fight at 9:20. That's when Boner of the Day is decided. So 1, 2, or 3, you decide. Put the number of the candidate that you think should win in the message of a text. And then text that to 33986. Easy. Most people vote that way. Others call, use their voice, 877-602-9696. Or they go to x96.com and vote. Look for the box that says February 9, Boner voting. Something like that. You've only got 300 seconds. Let's go. It's round 1. Boner voting.
The music starts at 10 with a 1-hour nonstop music wingding.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we find our elders roaming a desolate, uncharted, dark, smelly planet, looking for someone or something to convert. It is sometime between breakfast and lunch.
Man, I don't feel so well.
I warned you against eating eggs you found in the middle of nowhere on a planet that isn't even on the map.
But I was hungry. Besides, they were tasty.
Well, if you don't feel well now, you have no one to blame but yourself. Come on, we're falling behind schedule.
How can we have a schedule on a planet with nothing on it?
We won't know if this planet is uninhabited until we explore some more of it. Come on, let's go.
What the flip? Lehigh, help!
Ew! George, it looks like your breakfast isn't setting well with you. What the heck is that? Looks like the planet is inhabited after all.
Get it off me!
Stand back. I'll take care of it.
Oh, hi, ma'am. Who are you? And why in heaven's name are you pointing what appears to be a flamethrower at my companion?
Name's Ripley. Lieutenant Ripley, and I'm about to torch that little critter before it gets a chance to make a run for it.
Hi, my name is Newt.
Well, it's nice to meet you both. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
We were wondering if you'd ever heard of our church, and if so, if you'd like to learn more.
Enough with the chit-chat. I need to kill that monster before it grows any bigger and has a chance to fight back. Now, Lehigh, wasn't it? If you would just stand back a bit so I can get a clear shot at your friend's chest.
What?
I will do no such thing. All that little critter has done is ruined a perfectly good suit for Mr. Mac, and as long as there's a chance in heck of converting either it or its mother, we would prefer that you leave it be.
Do what you have to do. God knows I will.
Look out, Butch!
Burn, you bastard, burn. Sorry, I meant the alien thing, not your companion.
Butch? You okay? Butch, speak to me.
Is this the end of Butch? Will Lehigh take a shot at converting the alien queen despite the charbroiling of one of her offspring by Lieutenant Ripley? Will Newt get to say anything else in this episode? Tune in next time to hear...
Say, Lehigh, you know, these things aren't half bad cooked, you know. Hey, has anybody got any Tabasco sauce?
In the next titty-twisting episode of Space Elders!
But remember, Wade Taylor is here with our family law segment. If you have
just
a question,
in time for Valentine's Day.
A good time to get divorced is Valentine's
That's
Day.
why we have him in. It's his busy season. So 877-602-9696. Not just divorce, but any sort of family law questions you may have. Wade is here. But
wills and adoptions and all of that.
All that. Let's award round one of your boner voting.
And round one of the boner voting is brought to you in parts by Chicken Breast.
And it's Friday in February. It's 60 degrees. Go relax on the patio at Gracie's with a cocktail or a cold beer or a glass of wine.
I wonder if they've opened the patio.
This is what
it
says, yeah.
I thought you were making that up.
Play pool or shuffleboard or cornhole. It's entirely your call at Gracie's, adults only.
This is cornhole weather.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
That's my sign off today.
This is cornhole weather. Yep. There's no doubt about it. Boner candidate number one was the claw, the stupid little kid who got caught in the claw machine at Beef O'Brady's in Titusville, Florida. Boner candidate number two, my dad has cancer. That's not why you're resigning, Representative Stannard. And I'm watching the sound off a Fox 13 report from Ben Winslow about Representative Stannard and Bree, the prostitute. And they're showing some pictures of her as a bleach blonde.
Oh, the ones I saw were brunette.
Yeah, there's some. So I guess I can see why he left. No, just a joke. And boner candidate number three was girls must learn to say yes, not no at school dance in West Haven. And the policy is you cannot say no if somebody comes and asks you to dance. Gina thinks, and I think we agree with her, that's a topic for more discussion. We'll talk about that boner candidate more coming up next hour.
So all of you guys who are texting that we're a bunch of liberals who are easily offended by things.
Yeah, no, I think we should talk to you.
Call in an hour, and then you can tell us to our face.
About an hour from now.
All right.
Let's see. John won the Gracie's gift card, and the winner of the boner voting, though, was number two, Representative Stannard. My dad has the cancer.
All right. That is the winner of round one. It now faces off against the winner of round two. It has a 50-50 chance of becoming boner of the day. Of course, round two happens at 8:20, and then we put both of those candidates in the Boner Dome for Boner Fight at 9:20. That's when boner of the day is decided. Is this sponsored, Chief?
Yes. How would you like to win $1,000? You can by making a film for the annual Radio from Hell Film Festival. Just make sure it's under 5 minutes long, has an American flag in it, and use the phrase "in your area" in the film. For complete rules and entry deadline, go to x96.com.
All right. So the number to call and ask Wade Taylor questions about your divorce or your will or your adoption is 877-602-9696. 877-602-9696. And Wade is here. Wade, hi. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
So this is a season where a lot of divorces seem to happen.
January, February, March, people get their tax money back. They can pay for a divorce.
Yep.
So
I know. Yep. I always thought it was, I'll just make it through the holidays.
I think that's part of it.
We'll do it for the kids. But there are some things in the legislature that are related to divorce and family law. Talk about a couple of those while we're waiting for people to call at 877-602-9696.
The three biggest things related to family law is, one, the surrogacy law, and that has been tabled. That was Senator Lyle Hilliard trying to repeal his own bill.
That's because the gays are now using it.
Yes, and if there's ever a proof of pure discrimination, it's that effort.
Yes. Well, if the gays are going to be doing surrogacy, we can't have that. He's the one who did the surrogate law.
Exactly. So that's the first one. That's been tabled, my understanding. The protective order statute has changed to allow you to get a protective order against someone as long as you're involved in a relationship with them. You don't have to live with them. This is due to the Memory shooting. I can't remember her last name that happened this last year.
But the interesting thing about that too, now I want to know specifically, I don't know if she really even had much of a relationship with this guy. It was all mostly in his head, and he started acting.
No, they had.
Did they?
They said they did.
Well, so what do you do about a relationship, though? You know the kind I'm talking about, where it's mostly, and it's usually a guy, but sometimes a woman, it's almost all in their head. You don't really have a relationship with them.
You can still seek a civil stalking injunction. There's certain grounds for that, and so you don't have to be the subject of physical abuse or fear for your safety. You can still seek a stalking injunction. I worry that even in that case with Memray, even with a protective order, it's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would have helped in her case, but if there's ever been abuse, the majority of the cases, it will help. And so I would say go get one.
So protective orders can help.
Yes, quite a bit.
And it's pretty easy to get the stalking one, Gina, so don't forget that.
Yes.
And then the last thing is the 90-day waiting period. This is probably the biggest thing for most people. Once you file now, and once it gets through, it hasn't gone all the way through, but it was voted through the Senate committee and the Senate, I believe, you won't have to wait 90 days to get your divorce done.
UtahDivorceNow.com?
It will be a divorce now.
Okay.
So
Way to go. There's the end of the family as we know it.
Yeah, right. Let's. We got a call. We got a couple of calls. Let's start with Katie.
Hello, Katie.
Hello, Katie.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi. Go ahead.
Yes, I just have a question. So I married a man 13 years ago. We only lived as husband and wife. We have for 1 month. We haven't been together for 12 years.
Wow.
He's off on some drug binge. I can't find him. I've tried to get divorced twice from him through an attorney, but the judge wouldn't grant it because we have a daughter together and he has to take the parenting class. So that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was going to try again. What would be the best way? Should I hire an attorney again? Should I try to do it on my own? I can't find him. I have no idea where he is.
you should definitely go forward and file for the divorce. Have an attorney. If your attorney didn't know how to get the divorce education class waived, that was
a bad attorney.
Yes, because you can't.
I'll say it.
It was too different.
There are a lot of bad attorneys.
You can get it waived, and particularly 12 years. And if he's not been involved with the child and he's got drug issues, you can definitely get a divorce. So go sit down with an attorney. Make sure they know how to do that. And you should be able to get divorced without a problem in that case.
Utah divorce
okay,
now.
I have one more question.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Quickly.
I took the parenting class. Do I have to take it again?
It has to be within 6 months. Yep, has to be within 6 months of filing.
All right.
It does. Okay. Thank you so much.
And to pile on to this question, I just gave my lawyer the signed final divorce papers on Monday. How long do you think it will take for the courts to finalize?
It depends on your judge. I've had judges, they're supposed to do it within 30 days. Sometimes we have to give them a little reminder, but if it's an uncontested type thing, I'll agree to. It's usually within a couple weeks.
All right. Thank you. We'll have more.
I applaud those judges who wait 30 days to try and keep the family together.
We'll have more with Wade, 877-602-9696.
Traffic is all green. Looking like we got flowage, not slowage today. So I'll just tell you quickly about Lucky's Auto Credit, where $77 in a job gets you a car. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Ogden. For program details or to apply online, visit luckysautocredit.com.
This is very important.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music winding 3 times a day.
Nobody around here has been eating lead paint chips.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell. At 1 p.m. while you're listening in the workplace. And at 4:30 for your drive home.
Doesn't make much sense to me either.
1-hour non-stop music wingdings 3 times a day at 10, 1, and 4:30.
I am not impressed.
Only on X96. Radio from Hell is the longest running morning show in Utah. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good, but, I mean, come on. You know, we'll take what we can get. X96.
Oh, no, it may not be a sponsor, but we do need to talk about the giveaway.
Well, coming up, don't call now.
Yeah, because we're supposed to give it away at 8, but we've got a bank full of phone calls.
Yeah, we'll have a Harmon's Valentine gift card to give you.
Pretty soon, pretty quick.
Soon. Don't call now for that.
No, but Wade Taylor's here. He's a divorce lawyer, family law lawyer, and he can answer your questions, and all of the lines are full. But we're going to take one now, and after that's done, you can try and get in. 877-602-9696.
All right, let's go to Brighton. Has an adoption question.
Hi, Brighton.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. What's your question? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so about a year and a half ago, my sister-in-law gave me and my wife guardianship of her daughter, and me and my wife want to adopt her, but so how would we go about doing it?
Okay, hang up and listen.
Yeah, because you're on a train or something.
Hang up and listen.
But
there's two issues that you have to do, and that's terminate parental rights in relation to both the father and the mother. If she gave you guardianship, that doesn't necessarily mean you can do it. You have to have grounds, or she has to consent. But if she consents, then just go through it. They'll do background checks on you and your wife, and as long as nothing's there and you can get the consent or terminate parental rights, you can go forward with the adoption. Right. You've had the child in your home long enough now.
All right, there you go, Brighton. Let's go to Greg. Hello, Greg.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Greg, what's your question, my friend?
I was adopted when I was a little baby, and my adoption was sealed because that's how they did it back then, and I've been trying for years to find out the process to have it unsealed so I can.
That is possible,
find out
isn't it?
some info.
It is possible.
It
to do.
is. You simply have to file a petition. As an adult, you have to file a petition to have it unsealed. There has to be grounds to unseal it.
Medical issue.
Curiosity isn't a ground.
Well, but that's
It
pretty
is.
broad if you say a medical
Yeah,
issue.
usually
right?
if you identify medical issues, things like that, then you can identify it and have it opened. If the adoption is in Utah, then yeah, it's going to be a fairly straightforward process. Outside of Utah, each law has their own requirements on opening an adoption. So
now, what if, let's say that Greg here says, I have I have chronic sinusitis, and I want to see if that's related to my genetics. I can't see. So that might be grounds.
It might
to
be
open up.
grounds.
But what if the mom or doesn't want to be found?
Well, and that's the difficulty. In some of these sealings, you have to be able to serve the parties. And so that's one of the difficulties you face in any of them is you can have it open, then you have to be able to notify those into all parties related to the adoption.
So the mother and or father, your birth mother and or father could say, I don't want you to find me.
They can, and sometimes they'll just do release of the information in camera, which means to the court without disclosing who they are.
Right?
So
does that answer your question, Greg?
Is it better to ask that from the municipality, like Provo, or is it better to do it through the state?
You have to go through the court system where the adoption was done.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank
See
you.
Greg.
Thank you. Let's go to Josh. Hi, Josh.
How's it going this
Good.
morning?
Fine.
Great,
Just a
Josh.
second, Josh. 877-602-9696 if you have a legal question for
Family law.
Family law for Wade Taylor.
Two lines are open here. So
Yes. All right. Go ahead, Josh.
All right, Wade. My question pertains to visitation rights. I was actually divorced a couple of years ago, and recently, within the last month and a half, my ex-wife found out I was dating again, and she did not like that. So she has refused to let me see my kids during my visitation period. She didn't go through the court, nothing. She just will not let me have them.
she can't do that, can
I've had police
No.
Yeah, I've had police officers show up and take a report, but it's a civil matter, so they won't do anything. I'm kind of curious of what steps I need to take to make sure that can be enforced.
kidnapping. No?
Bill.
That was advice from Bill, not from your legal.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Go ahead and file what's called an order to show cause for contempt. It is an enforcement matter, and so you need to take it back to the court. Ironically, it depends on what police department you're working with. Some of them will just simply take a report. Some of them, when they see the actual parent time, will enforce it. It sounds like you're in an area where they're just going to take the report. So file it with the court.
And then the cops have to do it.
And then they will enforce it once you can get an order of contempt.
So you can actually get the police to help you kidnap your children. It's
Don't
great.
stop. Don't do that.
It's a joke.
Now, do I need to file that with the court that I was divorced in, or in the court with the area my kids are in?
Where you were divorced. Right now, that's who has jurisdiction over the matter, unless you transfer it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Is that good?
Good enough, Josh. Let's
See
go
ya.
to John. Hi, John.
Hey.
Hey.
Go ahead with your question.
So I was in a relationship, and it was well, the girl's pregnant.
So it was
it was
yes.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm surprised you got around to it.
I'm just wondering. I know that there were multiple people that she was involved with, and she's claiming that I'm not the father. I'm wondering, is there anything I can do to get a paternity test after the child is born?
Yes. Yeah, there's two things that I would suggest you do. Before the child is born, file something called a voluntary declaration of paternity with the state, and that simply guarantees or ensures your rights if she tries to place the child up for adoption.
I'll bet you don't have a pencil, right?
And
again, that's voluntary declaration of paternity. Okay.
And then the second one is if you file a paternity action, they will require a paternity test. So you will have to take court action to be able to get that, but that is how you determine if you are the father or not.
Do you want to be the father?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Good
that's
for you.
nice.
Oh, I
That's
thought
good
it was
for
the
you.
other way around.
Oh, that's
okay, all right.
nice.
There you go, John.
That's good for you.
All right, thank you.
So the paternity tests are kind of hard. I think you have to see if you walk alike.
Talk
Yes.
alike.
If you have, yeah.
You can go down to Walmart now and get a paternity test. That's
right.
the best part about it. You
Yeah,
bet.
okay. Mindy is here. Hello, Mindy.
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is, I've been married for 22 years to the same man, who's an alcoholic and had very much difficulty keeping a job. At this point in his life, he doesn't have any retirement. I have a fabulous retirement, and I've had the same job for 17 years.
You want to cut him out of it?
I kind of do.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of carrying his butt.
I don't blame you.
Wow.
You remember the for better or worse?
Hey, hang on.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Here
For
comes...
better or for worse?
For better or for worse, it was in there.
It applies to both parties. So if you have retirement, he doesn't, he gets half your
Going
retirement.
to get half.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Nothing you can do?
There's not much you can do in that. You can make an argument on it. Retirement is one that the Supreme Court has dealt with numerous times, and they just say split it. But the one thing I would suggest is he may try and come and get spousal support if he cannot carry a job. So I would have an attorney to fight that issue, because that is something, if he has an ability, he should be working.
You know, I don't mean to sound grim about all of this, but if you can just hang on, he might just die.
You're horrible today.
I'm speaking what everyone else is thinking. Isn't that what you're thinking? You don't want to hang on, though, do you?
Kidnapping, death.
I'm just
I'm 48, and I would like to live.
Yeah.
Rather than just suck air.
I get that. So
all right.
Yeah.
But it may cost you.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks you very
Mindy.
much, Mindy. And we're reminded from a texter, great value paternity test right next to the family planning and across the aisle from the diapers.
Is it really?
Yeah, you can go get one there.
I'll be damned.
You send it into a testing center, and the testing center is actually here in Utah.
Oh.
But you can do it there and send it to a testing center here.
And another texter regarding our adoption guy who wanted to find out who his parents were. He says, do one of those DNA tests and ask for names of people that match, because the chances are
Ancestry.com.
the ancestry stuff. That's how it says my husband found his birth family that way.
Yeah, and that's actually probably easier than getting it open, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
That's cheaper, yeah.
And cheaper.
Well, it's cheaper to keep her.
Wade Taylor, always a pleasure to see you.
Pleasure to see you.
Yes.
You're great to have around, too, because I know you see a lot of sad situations in your business, but you've retained your sense of humor, which I like.
Well, they need help, and I'd love to help people. So
All right.
Good to see you all.
UtahDivorceNow.com is how you get a hold of Wade. All right. Traffic, any?
Well, it's our Valentine's contest.
Oh, let's do that. Yes.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day. Don't leave it up to Cupid. Let Harmons help you out with a beautiful flower arrangement. Order online or stop by your local Harmons today. Remember, without the flowers, it's just the 14th. So Valentine's Day, order flowers online from Harmons or stop by your local store before time runs out. We have a $75 Harmons gift card to give you if you call 877-602-9696. Now, traffic. Yes, we have some.
All right.
Crash eastbound Bangor Highway at 550 West. Another one, crash southbound Bangor Highway 90th South in West Jordan. That's traffic. Experience the best parts of your own backyard at Reebok Ragnar Wasatch Back June 1st and 2nd. It's an overnight team relay race inspired a worldwide running movement. Grab 11 friends and enroll today at runragnar.com. Enter promo code X96. Receive $60 off team registration.
Here are your boner candidates for round 2. Number 1, I have proof that my dad is not a racist. Boner candidate number 2, double fat soy milk cappuccino for Kark. And boner candidate number 3, I had to drop Pebbles off at the pool.
Okay. Those 3 candidates for round 2 coming up in the Big Boy News after these. First, got to remind you, it's Friday. And that's the international release date for all music. So that means new music, movies, games, and records, and more to pick up at any of the locally owned and operated Gray Whale locations near you. Music, let's see. Franz Ferdinand has a new one out. Always Ascending is what it's called. Dashboard Confessional has a new one. Crooked Shadows. A band called Good Tiger. The album is called We Will All Be Gone. We knew MGMT had new stuff coming out. It is out today. Little Dark Age is what it's called. Visigoth, their new one, Conqueror's Oath, is out today. And this is very interesting. It's called Black Panther the Album, featuring Kendrick Lamar and a whole lot. It's quite good, actually. So take a look at that. Movies, Victor Crowley is out today. Day of the Dead Bloodline is available. And the Blu-ray collection, Friday the 13th, parts 1 through 7.
Oh,
so you get them all in one big gift pack.
Okay.
For the hockey mask wearer in your life. Check out GrayWhaleSLC.com. Real-time inventory searches, Killer Whale membership discount availability. You can use your store credit for purchasing, and they're always updating you on sales, promotions, and events. Trade in your old stuff for new stuff. They want your music, movies, games, books, and vinyl. You probably don't want them anymore, but they want it. Get cash or store credit toward the purchase of something new to entertain you. Join the Killer Whale Club. Receive a lifetime discount. Like and follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gray Whale SLC for info on great deals or to find a location near you. That is the Gray Whale Entertainment Report.
We love you for listening to X96. And since Valentine's Day is coming up, we want to give you gifts.
Listen at 8, 2, and 5 to win a different prize every single day.
You could win a $50 gift certificate from Boostique or $250 worth of auto detailing from Polished Image Auto Detailing.
Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
Richie flew back from Cedar City, and he flew back on the plane, on the SkyWest plane, with a celebrity.
I sitting in the waiting, in the waiting room, the lobby, if you will, waiting to get on my plane. Hey,
at the terminal?
At the terminal. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. But, Cedar City has a brand new airport, so it's not really like a terminal. Mm-hmm. It's like a cabin, like a mini Cabela's looking airport thing.
Okay.
And terminal was the word I probably should have used there. Right. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see my old friend Mike Leavitt, former governor and now
his old friend.
Well, and here's why. Hey, Mike. Apparently now Bill told me I should have called him Mr. Secretary. But I said, hey, Mike. Hey, Richie. How's it going?
So how do you know Mike Leavitt? He's from Cedar City.
He's a Cedar SUU grad, and I met him the first time my dad used to work for him.
Oh, that's right.
And then also, though, when I did a TV show down at Southern Utah University called SUU Live, and we had him come on and sing Happy Birthday to us. He thought he was going to be discussing hard-pointed issues, and it was kind of a mix between Saturday Night Live and a late show with David Letterman kind of format. And so we got him to come on and sing Happy Birthday to us and eat birthday cake.
Yeah, it was like the Late Show with David Letterman and what else?
And Saturday Night Live.
But kind of the non-funny versions
exactly,
of those.
If you can remove all the humor from those.
All of the intelligence and humor out of it. It was kind of like that.
That's exactly what it was. So he sang Happy Birthday, and he's never let us forget that.
So did you tell him what you were doing? Where you'd been? Did you chat with him at all?
I did. I said, I've been working. I was down here for the radio station. He knew that I worked. He said, how's that going? I said, pretty well, working in Salt Lake. Work for X96. And he kind of went, he knew exactly what that was. I said, you're welcome to be on the program tomorrow morning if you'd like. I guess he was flying to D.C. later last night, too, so obviously he couldn't. But
did he have really any idea what X96 was?
I think he...
he's been on the show before.
Yeah, his face read like that he had a clue, an inkling, if you will. But just, I asked him. I said, this bird flu really a big deal? Are we really needing to worry about it?
And he said, nah.
Yeah, forget it. No, he says, it's kind of like a tropical storm. It could be something big or could be nothing. I said, okay, thanks.
What a thoughtful man. He's such a thoughtful man.
He was a nice guy.
So you rode back to Salt Lake with Mike Leavitt, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
He snores, I think. It was either he or his Secret Service guy that was snoring on the front of the plane. There was only 10 of us, so we're like, come on.
I'll bet it's him. You know why he's snoring, don't you?
No idea.
He has bird flu. That's one of the first symptoms. You snore.
I'm surprised he was flying with the bird flu.
Oh, no, it makes it easy to fly. Yeah, that's part of you get the bird flu. Part of it is you start to fly.
96.3 X96. From Hell Show on X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Remember that information for when you call to vote for your round 2 boner voting. Give you 3 candidates right now, 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote which of these 3 stories, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. It's got a 50-50 chance if it wins here. It goes up against winner of round 1. Boner fight is at 9:20. So 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it. Gotta win it. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair. Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
So voter candidate number 1 was, listen, I have proof my dad is not a racist. I don't nominate Donald Trump for the boner voting anymore. I think maybe we have once. I think I'm going to have to maybe stop with Trump Jr. too.
Really?
Well, he's been more than once.
But in an interview with the Daily Caller, Donald Trump Jr. was asked by Ginny Thomas, president of conservative nonprofit Liberty Central, and the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, about the left's efforts to frame your dad and anyone who supports your dad as a hater, as a racist, and as a fascist. Naturally, after discussing how people of color overplay their supposed race card, Trump Jr. then seized on this opportunity to defend his dad by saying he can't be a racist. I have proof positive.
Okay.
He has appeared in photographs with black people. Lots of them.
He wouldn't allow that if he were a racist.
Including all the rappers, he said.
That's it?
That's how he said it, too.
Including all the rappers.
He's been in photos with all the rappers.
Well, there's one right there.
No, that's Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
And then, so this...
all the rappers.
This website that I read this account on, I'm not really familiar with them, Splinter News, went on to post picture after picture after picture of Donald Trump with various people of color.
See?
There's, Al Sharpton, there's Snoop, there's a picture of, I don't know who that guy is, one of the rappers, there's Kanye, there's a picture of him with some
Clearly,
other rappers.
He wouldn't be in a room with those people if he were racist.
Old picture of him with Jesse Jackson.
What about the lawsuit from some years ago where you were charged, and I believe charged with not renting your apartments to...
you had notes that said the B in the notes saying we don't rent to the B.
Here's some quotes. Here's the quotes that are under these pictures. Under the picture of him shaking hands with Al Sharpton, quote, "Our great African-American president," it's referring to Obama at the time, "hasn't exactly had a positive impact on the thugs who are so happily and openly destroying Baltimore." Under the picture of him with Snoop, "I think I have more Indian blood than a lot of so-called Indians that are trying to open up their reservations."
Oh, let's not forget when you sued the Indian casinos and went under testimony, you said that guy doesn't look like an Indian to me.
An extremely credible source has called my office and told me that Barack Obama was not born in this country.
Okay.
When Mexico sends us our people, they're not sending the best. They're sending you the rapists. They're sending...
Okay.
You know these quotes.
Yeah.
"I think sometimes black may be that they don't have I think sometimes a black may think they don't have an advantage or this or that. Well, I've said on one occasion, even about myself, if I were starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black because I really believe they do have an actual advantage." So these are the comments that he has made over the years.
Yeah.
His own
words. So what speaks louder, the pictures
or
the
words?
I had my picture taken with a black man once.
Boner candidate number 1, Don Trump Jr. saying, "I have proof my dad is not a racist." He has his photos taken with black people all the time. This is a visual Boner candidate, but I can describe it to you. If you go to x96.com/live, you'll see it. The title is Double Non-Fat Soy Milk Cappuccino for Kark. Kark? It's a picture of a cup, a coffee cup, a paper cup, and on it is written C-A-R-K. And guy's holding it up, and he says, "I told them my name was Mark with a C."
Mark?
My name's Mark with a C. Well, he meant
instead of
M-A-R-C, but the barista...
See, now I'm going to blame both.
I was going to say, why? If you're Mark, why do you...
If you're Mark...
Just say I'm Mark.
Just hearing your name doesn't matter how it's spelled.
Of course.
If you're just hearing it, you don't need to tell people how to spell it. So I'm blaming both.
No. Because it probably says, what name was that? Mark. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What is it? It's Mark with a C. He was just being How many people do you know named Kark, Kerry?
No, it's that he's making an issue out of...
Yeah, that's my point.
Well, he just says...
Because they call out your name, Mark. It's not like you don't answer to Mark with a K. No, that's not me.
Yeah.
Whoever the Boner candidate was.
You decide. All right.
Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3. I had to drop pebbles off at the pool.
All right, Boner candidate number 3 after this here big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by...
It's the best season of the year, not summer, not pumpkin spice season, not tax season. It's seafood season at Del Taco. Swing by and stock up on beer-battered fish tacos. Only $4 at Del Taco. Unfreshing, believable, limited time deal price, and participation may vary.
A hearing has been scheduled for a New Hampshire woman who says that she has a Powerball ticket that won $559.7 million. Now, New Hampshire law says you have to come forward and publicly. Well, she's going to court, and she's got a schedule before a judge saying, I want to stay anonymous, and I should have the right to stay anonymous.
Oh,
it's in the rules.
The woman, identified as Jane Doe, filed a complaint in Hillsborough Superior Court in Nashua County, saying that she signed the back of the ticket following January 6th drawing, the nation's 8th largest lottery jackpot. Under New Hampshire law, the name has to be, and the prize amount has to be made public.
So
but
here's the lesson. Signing the back, she signed her name on it, so she has to claim it as that. If she had signed it as the
Kark?
No.
I have a lottery ticket for Kark.
If you have here's what you do, because I've looked into this.
Okay.
You go to your lawyer and you say, I need to set up a trust. And you set up a trust, and then you sign the back of it, the name of the trust, and then it never has to come out that it's your name. But because she signed her name on the back, it's her, and the rules say in order to claim this, it says right in the rules, you have to be out.
Well, if we know anything about Gina, we know she's a rule follower.
That's right.
That's-
Let's see. All the way from Korea, Amy Donaldson.
Oh, so we're interrupting the news for an international call. Hi, Amy. How are you?
That's right.
Amy,
how are you?
I read your story about the Russian snowboarder this morning. You tweeted about that.
Russians. I tweeted. I didn't write a story.
Oh, you didn't. Maybe you didn't write it, but you tweeted it. He's not going to compete
or retweeted.
Well, he's the Japanese snowboarder. You mean?
Oh,
one of the world's best.
okay.
That's not here. There's actually a couple of the world's best snowboarders are not going to be competing. But
No.
yeah, the Japanese.
No, I got this from your Twitter feed. Olympic half-pipe champ iPod.
Oh, he's not Russian though. He's like I think he's from
Well, his name is Yuri Podolichkov, so he's close to Russian. Anyway, he's never mind. Hi,
Yeah.
Amy.
Yeah. How are you?
Hi.
I just barely got off a bus. I just got done watching the opening ceremonies, which was really fantastic and very, very cold.
Now
and there was a fake Donald Trump that caused a little stir.
Oh, how did that happen?
There was a couple of guys who dressed up as Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so they asked them to leave. They were not. It wasn't in the Olympic spirit for them to be there, so they asked them to leave.
Well, what were they? Were they just in the stands or what?
They were just saying hello and posing for pictures, and
okay.
you know.
All right. Let me ask about the North Korean Kim Jong Un's sister attended the opening ceremonies. Did anybody make any big deal about that?
No, I think it's the first time a Korean was trying to explain this to me, that someone from that family has sort of been received as an official visitor.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a big deal to them. I actually spent about 3 hours wandering around a couple of cities, talking to regular people. Interestingly, some of them don't want to talk about it. They're worried about getting in trouble. But a real mix of emotions about whether or not they should have been combined, whether or not it'll do any good. It's not the first time they've marched together in Sydney as well.
The Olympic teams being combined is what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they mostly compete separate. The hockey team will be a combined hockey team, the women's hockey team. But most of them are they're competing on their own. They just march together, and then they have some, I don't know what to call them, cheerleaders, kind of.
That's what
that
they're
they
being
brought from
described
North
as
Korea.
cheerleaders. Yeah.
Yeah, that they were there. That was different, but it was interesting.
It sounds cute.
But cute might be a good word.
Yeah,
They're
sounds
kind of
kinda
hype girls. They kind of kept the crowd pumped up.
That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. Very
So you said you went up to the DMV. Yeah, was that yesterday or the
DMZ?
DMZ.
Well, they're both both as
very
dangerous.
very similar energy.
Yes.
What
But
was that like?
I went to the DMZ museum, and I actually found it to be kind of sad. My grandfather is a Korean War veteran, and I guess just having known what he went through there, and seeing that we divided that country in half, I guess, for political reasons. After World War II.
Yep.
It was just kind of a, I don't know, bummer would be. I mean, it split families up, and it just
and you say when you say we, the United States,
the Americans
said,
yeah.
The Americans said we're going to split this country in two, and then that was after World War II, because the
Yes.
people in the northern part of the country had been sort of colluding with the Chinese, and and so the Americans said, well, we're just going to split the country, and then the Korean War broke out over that. Is that right?
5 years later, the North Koreans invaded South Korea.
Yeah.
And I believe they marched almost to Busan in 5 days.
Really?
Like, it was really,
Good
yeah,
Lord.
they almost,
That's
So
that's
then
all the way to the
Americans
bottom.
said, well,
So
we better go help them.
So again, I guess we should be talking about the Olympics, but thank you for talking about that, because it made it clear to me that in a way that it hasn't before, lots and lots of people lost their lives over an arbitrary border decision,
usually
made by America.
Yes.
Just real quickly, what should we look for in the opening ceremonies? What was your highlight?
Well, there is the shirtless Tongan guy again.
Okay.
So I thought it was interesting. It was very different. You'll notice, like, you guys have actually been at opening ceremonies before, so it's kind of, usually it's a history lesson and maybe
Cultural,
featuring some artist or some cultural aspect, and it's very Korean. I thought that, it was very reflective of the culture. But it didn't give you a lot of insight, I thought, into their history. So the highlight for me was the torch lighting, because it was Yoona Kim who won gold in women's figure skating in 2010.
Oh.
And she's very revered here and a wonderful human being. So to see a woman light the torch, I think it's the first time in 25, 30 years.
All right.
But yeah, so and there was a fire dance. It was pretty cool. The way they light the torch is very Korean.
Okay.
Right,
so they love mechanics and robots and stuff like that.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, good.
All right.
Listen, we got to go. So I guess that'll be on television
tonight, probably
on NBC tonight. I think
it's on 8. It runs at 8 p.m. tonight. And I wanted to just quickly say that iPod is a Russian-born Swiss snowboarder.
All
We
right.
were both right, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good. I'm glad
All right.
that came back to you.
We'll see you.
All right.
Gotta go.
Goodbye.
Weather, traffic.
Brought to you in part by Climate Change and Haster Games. They have the best selection of the latest board games, Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. It's a great place to stay and play. Remember, Haster has it. 6831 South State, online at hastergames.com. Warm and windy today. Could be above 60 degrees. Crash westbound Riverdale Road at 10th West in Ogden. The right lane is blocked there. Eastbound Bangor Highway 550 West in Salt Lake. There's a crash there. And somebody said there were some dogs running in southbound I-15 next to the freeway there by the Centerville exit. UHP stopped traffic while they try to get them off the road.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 3. I had to drop pebbles off at the pool. A Florida woman says an airline told her to flush her hamster down the toilet because the emotional support rodent was not allowed to fly with her. The Miami Herald reports before Belen Aldacosi flew home from college to South Florida, she twice called the airline to ensure that she could bring Pebbles, her pet dwarf hamster. No problem, the airline said on the phone. But when Aldacosi arrived at the Baltimore airport, the airline refused to allow the dwarf hamster, and they're really tiny and cute.
Yes.
Refused to allow it on board. The 21-year-old told the paper she flushed Pebbles down the toilet at an airline employee's suggestion out of running out of other options.
That's
now, the boner candidate here to me is this woman. I don't care if there's a mix-up at the airline and the airline says, I've got to get home. There's no other. I'm sorry. You don't flush your support animal down the toilet.
All right.
I had to drop Pebbles off at the pool. Boner candidate number 3.
Number 3. Let's review the first two and vote.
So boner candidate number 1 is I have proof that my dad is not a racist. Don Trump Jr., the genius that he is, saying there's proof that Donald Trump Sr. is not a racist because he's had his picture taken with black people. Boner candidate number 2, Double non-fat soy milk cappuccino for Kark. Kark. We'll just leave that one there. And boner candidate number 3, dropping pebbles off at the pool.
All right, let's go. This is round 2 of your boner voting. You've got to decide which one of these 3 is the worst and therefore most qualified to be a contender for boner of the day. Boner fight happens at 9:20. All right, 1, 2, or 3, you decide. And put that number of the candidate you think should win in the message of a text. And text that to 33986. Easy. 877-602-9696 is the phone number. Or you can go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Voting February 9. You got less than 300 seconds. Let's go. This is round 2.
X96 gives you a 1-hour nonstop music wingding.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of 2 such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we find our beloved missionaries knocking on the door of a sand crawler on Tatooine.
Man, this thing is huge. Who ever heard of a camper being 100 feet long and nearly 60 feet tall?
Well, it's not really a camper. It's more like a mobile home. An entire tribe of Jawas call this sand crawler their home.
Well, I guess we better introduce ourselves before they decide to move on.
Hi there. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen. Hi. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
And we was wondering if you had heard of our church and if you'd like to know more about it.
Lehigh, I think my universal translator in my name badge is broken. Could you tell me what the little guy said?
Well, I didn't understand him either. Oh no, our translators must not be programmed for Jawa. Now we'll never be able to bring them our message of salvation.
Excuse me, sir. Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
And I suppose that you speak Jawa.
I am a protocol droid, programmed in over 3 million forms of communication.
And I suppose that one of those over 3 million forms of communication is Jawa?
Oh, Jawa's like a second language to me. You be quiet, R2. I do speak Jawa like a native.
Well, then, if you wouldn't mind, could you tell us what they're saying? Talk to them.
Utna Bak Chala Elders? He says that they want your hyperbikes.
Well, you tell him that we need them to do our missionary work and that we would really need to be going soon, too.
Kala Chuk Nakda Zulat Tem, Elders Lokta Nimboshan. Oh my.
What did he say?
He says that they will join your church in exchange for the hyperbikes, and they want to keep your name badges too.
They want eternal salvation and our hyperbikes?
Cool. They get our bikes and we get our first converts. What a deal. I mean, there must be 200, maybe 300 Jawas on board this piece of junk. I mean, we could convert them all.
Butch, those hyperbikes don't belong to us. They belong to the church.
And so will the Jawas after we baptize them.
Could this be it? Converts for Elders Christiansen and Jensen at last? Would the church frown on bartering for membership? And how many Jawas can you convert for a pair of Mark 32 hyperbikes with custom fender flares and luggage racks? Tune in next time to hear Lehigh say... No, and that is final. Now, Mr. 3PO, if you would just kindly ask the Jawas to give back our name badges, we'll be on our way.
Well, all right. What if I give them my luggage rack and fender flares and we just baptize, a couple of them?
No! That is your big problem, Butch. You always try to do things the easy way.
Oh, yeah? Well, listen to this. I've been letting you win at Scripture Chase. on the next growth-stunting episode of Space Elders!
Time to award round 2 of your boner vote.
Oh, and round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by Roasted Beets and Squash.
And looking for a great deal on a used smartphone, but don't want to meet a creepy guy in a parking lot? Bad Apple repairs, buys, sells, and trades smartphones. Go to badapplerepair.com.
So, boner candidate number 1, I have proof that my dad is not a racist. Donald Trump Jr. saying that, and he was in a friendly interview, and she asked him, what do you have to say to people who claim that your father is a racist, that everyone who supports him is a racist? What do you say to that? He said, I have proof. My dad has had his picture taken with all the rappers and black people.
See?
He's not a racist. And boner candidate number 2, double fat non-soy cappuccino for Kark. Kark. It's a guy who apparently ordered a cappuccino at a coffee shop, and he said, my name is Mark with a C. And so they wrote on it, Kark. And boner candidate number 3, I had to drop pebbles off at the pool. A woman who, she said the airline told me I can't bring my pet hamster, my little dwarf hamster, Pebbles.
Support animal.
It's my support animal onto the plane. I can't do it. I said, what do you expect me to do? They said, well, just flush it down the toilet. And she did. The boner T-shirt was won by Scott Jacobson. And it was a good fight between boner candidate number 1, Don Trump Jr., and number 3, the Pebbles at the pool, but number 3 wins.
Really?
The boner of the hour, round 2.
So there's your round 2 winner. We will throw it into Boner Dome with the round 1 winner and let them fight to decide who is boner of the day. Boner fight happens at 9:20, so stick around for that.
So we had a boner candidate that in round 1 that Gina wanted to discuss a little more, maybe.
And if you want to discuss this quickly, we don't have a lot of time, but 877-602-9696. This was the one about the 6th grade dance where the girls were told, and apparently the boys are told too, no, you can't say no if anybody asks you to dance.
Now this is in Weber County. It's in West Haven Elementary School at Canesville Elementary. The little girl comes home and says, if any boy asks me to dance in the 6th grade dance, I have to say yes. They told me I can't say no.
And I thought it was interesting because Dylan came in and said that this happened when he was in elementary school, middle school, and you thought it was a good thing.
I did. First off, there's nothing. You go to gym class throughout the semester, and they teach you how to do different dances in gym class. And then you have a dance and you do those dances. They're not slow, at least that's what it was when I was a kid. They're not slow dancing. You're not even touching.
What?
Except for grab an arm and swing in a circle.
Yeah.
Like a
do-si-do.
Do-si-doing. But, yeah, I mean, because, I don't, it can really do damage to kids, too, just when you say no.
Like self-esteem?
Self-esteem issues.
Well, this parent was upset because she said we shouldn't be teaching girls that they have to say yes.
And I agree with that. So
I agree with that, too.
So call us names and snowflakes and liberals and all of that. 877-602-9696.
And like with a lot of things, I think it's a different conversation that you have with girls and boys. Like I would tell my daughter, absolutely not. You don't have to say yes to anybody. But then to my son, I can see having a conversation with him about, you might ask a girl to dance and she might turn you down, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's a different conversation.
Maybe take the conversation a little farther than absolutely you don't have to say yes. Take it a little farther and say, however, you might consider this, that if there are boys in your class that you know are outcasts, or people are, that they don't like them very much, or they're new, they might be shy, and it took a lot of courage. Maybe think about it. Think about, now,
but
you don't have to do it. It's your choice. You don't have to dance with them. And you could even take it further. I think even sixth graders are old enough to know, and of course, when it comes to sex, you absolutely can say no. This is a dance.
But it's
it kind of sets a precedent.
I was just going to echo this microphone. I should probably switch. I was just going to echo what Bill just said. I think that it can be a conversation at the same time that says, you know what, we're talking about dancing. People are going to have feelings, and you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And it doesn't have to be you always have to say yes to sex conversation. Like, I feel like, because you're saying, hey, consider a person's feelings as they're getting up the courage to dance with you. To say no, if you need to teach them how to say no in an appropriate way, I think that's okay. But
that's why I said the conversation I have with my kids is to be kind.
Yeah.
You don't.
It's a bigger lesson. It's a lesson for life where it's like, hey, this is going to matter in lots of ways.
It doesn't say in this story anywhere that they said the boys could do the same thing or anything like that. So,
I think, it's nice to be asked. Mm-hmm. It's nice if somebody. This extends, past dancing.
I wish I knew.
If a little kid just likes you, and you hear from a friend, my so and so likes you, be kind. You don't have to like them back. You don't have to dance with them, but don't say anything or do it in a way that would hurt somebody's feelings.
So, you know what? I got acupuncture. I guess we'll talk about that.
Yeah, Brittany's on the line.
Oh, Brittany.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you want to say about it?
I have taught sixth grade,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm kind of familiar with the social environment.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to say that I would imagine the reason a school would say this would be because of bullying issues. And I've seen, you have your little cliques, and you just want kids to feel accepted. However, I certainly understand both sides. I think it's a hard topic, and I think it needs to be addressed. But I don't think it would be anything that they wouldn't try to put pressure on girls. It's more an inclusion type of issue.
Yeah, I think what was sort of what you're indicating there is the school's not saying you must do this. It's
right.
It's
right. They're just trying to get kids to maybe go outside of their
and you can tell
friend
them that.
Groups and include other people.
You can tell the kids that. And the reason we do this, we'd like you to say yes, is so that everybody feels included and feels part of the dance.
But again, that kind of sets up a down the road scenario where you look at like the Aziz Ansari thing, where she felt pressured and later regretted it. So we need to teach. I think we need to teach them early on that because this sort of thing has been going on forever, and we need to start teaching the girls early on that they are in control.
Yeah, maybe a better thing is saying, like I've heard schools doing, where you eat lunch with different people. It's not the same thing as dancing with them, but maybe today you have to.
Can I eat lunch with you?
No, like eating lunch and maybe being inclusive that way, or
nobody would have had you eat lunch with them, Gina.
Me?
Yeah, you.
All right.
So
Thanks,
is that
Brittany.
Brittany? Thanks for checking in with us.
We got to run to Brooke. I accidentally put Brittany on hold. I'm sorry, Brittany. Brooke, go ahead.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi, guys. I don't know about your 5th and 6th grade experiences, but in mine, if we had had the option of saying no, only a select few kids would have danced at all.
Yeah. And see, I question the whole idea of having dances at this age anyway, but that's another thing.
Well, and I'm as liberal as they come, but this is a classroom situation. This isn't after school. This isn't an extracurricular activity. This is a classroom situation where teachers are watching and teachers are supervised, and there's a way to have a conversation where you say, this is something you have to do because teachers are present, and there's a way to extend that conversation to later in life. I think it's a good thing that they make all the kids say yes, because at my 5th grade dance, I know I wouldn't have had anyone to dance with.
Well,
why don't they?
Somebody from the school says, let me just say this. Somebody from the school said, we're just trying to teach kids to be respectful and polite. We want to promote kindness, and we want you to say yes when somebody asks you to dance. That's all.
And this person makes my point. Why don't they just assign partners? We're going to have a dance.
That's
and
what
we'll
happened
pick
with
names
us.
out of a hat, and you dance with this person, you dance, and everybody has a partner. And
I was lucky. I got the prettiest girl in the class. She was not so lucky.
Anything else quickly, Brooke?
We got to
Nope,
go.
that's it. Thanks, guys.
All right. All right.
See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just glad that I don't have to deal with these things.
It's yet another reason
not to have kids.
Carrie is
Don't
glad.
have kids. All right. Traffic, do you have that?
Let me see if there's a quick last check of traffic for you. Crash westbound Riverdale Road, 10th West. Right lane is blocked. That's in Ogden. Crash eastbound Bangor Highway 550 West in Salt Lake. And then another one on Bangor southbound at 90th South. That's traffic brought to you by Lucky's Auto Credit, where $77 in a job gets you a car. 2 locations, Salt Lake City and Ogden. For program details or to apply online, visit luckysautocredit.com.
You know, Valentine's Day is a day of gift giving, and a great gift would be the gift of diamonds from Diamonds Direct.
Mm-hmm. Every girl needs the diamond stud earrings, right?
And a lot of guys need them
Yeah,
too.
you can. I think you should get one.
Yeah. Now, so for a limited time here at Diamonds Direct, it's such a special Valentine's deal. You can get the most romantic gift. You can get a very expensive gift, and the way you do it is you spread your payments out over 5 years with no interest. No interest payments,
That's
okay?
a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool. So like a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings.
Yeah, you might not be able to
$50 a month.
afford those otherwise, but with this, it makes it more affordable.
So, and they have all kinds of jewelry at Diamonds Direct. What about an elegant diamond pendant or a diamond tennis bracelet? They also have earrings, gemstones, pendants, all of that kind of stuff. Diamonds Direct, and it's a really great shopping atmosphere. They're not going to push you. They're not going to pressure you. Oh, if you're getting engaged on Valentine's Day.
A lot of people do that.
A lot of engagement rings at Diamonds Direct. So check them out. Interest-free for 5 years. It's 6400 South, Diamonds Direct, right across the street from the Fashion Place Mall.
Hey, it's John Smith.
Radio from Hell on X96.
So anyway, we're up there, getting bags of food and turkeys. But when we first got there,
this is before we went on the air.
Now I didn't say this to her on the air, did I?
No. No, this was before we went on.
She introduced herself, and I forget her name. Hi, I'm so and so with the food bank, and we said hi, and she handed us a fact sheet. And it's just a few things there, and she said, and then she said, I don't even think we asked her to be on the radio.
Didn't.
She said, I don't want to go on the radio. And we, Carrie said, well, come on, we've got to want to talk to somebody from the food bank.
Yeah.
You're here. You're an expert.
I believe every year we have spoken with somebody.
Yeah, and I said, well, we need somebody from the food bank. We'd like somebody from the food bank to talk. And she said, well, what are you going to ask me? and it made me a little mad.
It did, because it's kind of a
and I said,
silly
well,
question.
I'm going to ask you, what the velocity of a V1 rocket is, and how to build a diesel truck, and what is the composition of quartzite.
Yeah.
I
You
said,
were a little.
I said, I'm going to ask you stuff that you can answer about the
stuff,
food bank.
the stuff that was on the sheet.
Easy stuff. She ran. She disappeared. And never came back.
Yeah.
And no one else from the food bank.
No.
No, she was the representative that morning.
And
you could have handled that. Better.
Yeah, I could have. And I think I did say, well, could you get us somebody who will talk? I think I said that, and that's when she said, well, what are you going to ask me?
I think he was just trying to point out to her that that was kind of a silly question. You're here to represent the food bank. Tell us about hungry people.
I was, but I kind of snapped at her.
But people that have never been on the radio or put in that position, it makes them nervous just right off the bat.
Gina, I don't think, again, you really need, other than that seems to be your role, to apologize for this. I'm doing the apologizing. You don't need to.
Once again,
it's my turn to apologize.
Stepping all over Bill's thing.
Stop apologizing. I'm apologizing.
You're always there to ruin the punchline, and now you're ruining the apology.
And quit throwing your shoes at me.
Wait, there's another one.
So she really never said why she didn't want to be on the air, did she?
No, but she was scared. She was nervous.
She did the I don't want to be on the air.
Maybe she had a real job and was supposed to be at work and didn't want anybody to hear her.
No, but anyway, I feel bad about it. I'm sorry. I'd like to find out her name, and I'll send her an apology or.
Yeah, I wouldn't call her. You'll scare her.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to scare you, and I'm sorry. I was a little short. But it's first thing in the morning, and we're just getting it together, and you know how I am.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
Again, you can't treat everybody like you treat me.
Oh, shut up. I can too. You call right now, and I'll tell you to shut up. I don't care who you are.
Gary, Bill, and Gina on X96 Radio from Hell. on Twitter at RFHBill.
Do you know who I am?
Radio from Hell on X96.
All right, so my...
No pee breaks, people. No pee breaks.
Oh, great.
Sorry.
We've got a giveaway.
Yes.
X96 welcomes MGMT to the Union Events Center in downtown Salt Lake City on Tuesday, May 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at postfontaine.com, or maybe you'll win some from us right now. I'm going to give you a keyword, and you will text it to 33986, and you could win some tickets. Here's your keyword: youth. Y-O-U-T-H. Youth. Text that to 33986.
All right.
You know, today I came into work and talked about this in the pre-show. It's right around 6. I saw a sleeve of crackers on John Smith's desk, and they were club crackers, and I couldn't resist. I know we've had this conversation before. People, Richie, taking food from Gina's desk and eating it without her permission. But I couldn't resist, and I took the sleeve of club crackers off of. They were just sitting out there open.
No, I was concerned.
Yeah.
Because he is diabetic.
Right.
I thought maybe he might need food at some point to help balance out whatever. I don't know how it works, but
that may be why he had them there.
You
Oh
know.
God, I better eat some crackers. I'm going to go into insulin crash.
And you didn't just take now. Bill just didn't grab one cracker.
No, I took the whole sleeve.
He took the whole thing, and he's been eating them all morning.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I have not. I ate them all very quickly. They were gone before 6:15. They were gone, and it wasn't a whole sleeve. It was half a sleeve. But you're right, Carrie. It could. I think very likely it could be an insulin shock thing.
That's why I would,
and that's why they were there. And I just I did just eat one at first, but after you eat one of those delicious Keebler Elf townhouse, is it townhouse or a club?
They are delicious,
light, flaky, and buttery. So I had Nick go out and buy a box. A box
to replace. Well, that's
to
good.
replace them.
You're making it right then. That's
and now I'm eating some now. If you guys would like some, because there was only half a sleeve. That's a whole sleeve. There are 3 of these in a box.
Okay.
So I only owe him half of one of these sleeves.
You want to eat it down to?
Well, I want if you guys want to help me.
I'll help you.
It would be now this. I started one, and I haven't even gotten to. I can eat about 12
Aren't
more
you
of these.
Full of crackers?
Hell no! They're light, flaky, and delicious. It is as advertised. Light, flaky, and delicious. And if that could be put on my tombstone, here lies Bill Allred. He was light, flaky, and delicious. I'd die a happy man, but.
Well, I am proud of you for making good on your.
And thanks, Nick, for going out and getting those. Boy, you can also get club. That's the competing brand. Here, this is open. The competing brand is Townhouse.
So one's Keebler and one's.
Yeah, which
I forget. These
club
are Keebler.
Club is Keebler. Townhouse is.
I know, probably Nabisco.
Nabisco, probably.
I know I love the club crackers. The Townhouse crackers are okay.
I don't know. I think we need to do a taste test.
Yeah, maybe.
We've done this.
We've done this taste test?
We've done this one?
We have very much done this taste test.
I don't
just
remember.
want some crackers.
Oh, okay.
I just want to get in on this sweet cracker action.
Oh, man, they're good. You know what would be really good on them is peanut butter.
There you go.
Wouldn't they be too dry?
You know nothing.
I would say cheese, but I know where you stand there.
Gina?
What?
What is that on the back of the box? The picture of club crackers. What are they putting on the
They're
crackers?
suggesting
Peanut butter.
That's a serving suggestion, is what that is.
Do you want me to take one of those sleeves and put it on John's desk?
No,
to make sure.
A half a sleeve.
Yeah. To make sure.
That's about that right there.
It's about what you.
That's
took?
what I took right there. Okay. That's about.
Maybe
what
he'll never know.
Well,
no, he will.
He listens.
No, he doesn't.
No. He says he listens.
The perfect snack. They go great with, well, anything, anytime, it says here.
Well, that's not true.
God, you are a cracker denier.
Anytime?
Yes.
Our friend in London says, I miss club crackers. They don't have them here in the UK.
You are just
anything.
You are a
Ice
cracker
cream.
denier.
Crackers and ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a salty,
Got
crunchy.
the salt and the sweet there.
I hadn't thought of that, but that'd actually be delicious.
Spaghetti and crackers.
You bet.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. You again, Gina, I wish in these food conversations you would just dummy up. Because you have no room to talk.
Crackers go with everything.
Now, hang on. Don't you ever dip your French fry in your chocolate shake?
But that's a French fry. That's
It's
not a
essentially
cracker.
it's a salty, potatoy thing. It's like it's akin to a cracker.
They are ideal for munching.
Yeah.
Deliciously simple snacking.
Well, I would agree with that.
I think you're. Oh, and they have minis. Try snackable size minis. The only drawback with the club cracker is that they are, as they say, light, flaky, and buttery.
Yes.
And it's like if you spread peanut butter on them, it has to be pretty smooth, creamy peanut butter because the cracker will break.
It's not a hearty cracker.
No, it's not. It's not like a good old, like a sailor's, cracker that you put in chowder.
You know what I can't have in the house?
What?
Wheat Thins.
Yeah, I
Why?
know.
If I
have them in the house, I will eat them all in one sitting.
Yeah.
Seriously, if I get
I
started
agree.
on a Wheat Thin,
Don't even get me started on a wheat thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's seriously, they will be gone within 20 minutes.
I'm pretty much that way with all crackers. I love saltines. I have to be careful. I can make them last, but these club crackers, these will be gone before I leave the building.
I'm able to walk away from most snacks, really. But for some reason, Wheat Thins, I will
Terry,
zero
you're
in.
letting people know your weakness.
Oh.
You should never let.
Now, you get the flavored Wheat Thins?
No, just the regular ones.
Yeah, I like them all. Yeah.
Your mortal enemies are taking notes.
They're taking notes.
You can eat a whole box, can't you?
Yes.
I can.
Oh, yeah.
Whole box.
I can't eat a whole box of anything.
Somewhere out there, Zombie Conway Twitty,
You look,
mortal enemy, is writing this down.
Gina, you look like you could eat a whole box of a number of things. You ever put peanut butter on your Wheat Thin?
No.
Really good. Delicious. It's and Ritz. Let's not go to Ritz either.
Well, I was thinking about the club here, and I think I may prefer the Ritz.
No.
I mean, it's a good cracker, but
a Ritz is
Ritz's.
This is a good cracker, but Ritz, you know what Ritz are?
Good crackers.
Hang on. I was trying to
having trouble.
I was trying
Good
to,
cracker.
There,
Good cracker. There we go.
I was trying to fill there.
This new program is they say it's improved, and I disagree with them.
Good cracker. Good cracker.
It's Cracker Chat.
It's Cracker Chat. Well, every day, really.
You should see if you never saw that movie. This is Andy Griffith. There, I'm sure it's the last movie he ever made. Waitress, where he's the customer eating the pie all the time. It's a good movie, and he's great in it.
He was good at it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with Boner Fight. We'll find out who Boner of the Day is and Boner of the Week later this hour. Before Boner Fight, we'll have a reasonable amount of news. First, we're going to tell you about Open Classroom.
Open Classroom. You could probably learn how to make club crackers at the Open Classroom if you had that desire.
It's a public charter school
for kindergarten through 8th grade. It's up in the Avenues. And so because it's a public school, it's free.
But they do things a little differently there. A lot of it's the kids guide what they're studying. Maybe they're interested in crackers and they want to talk about crackers today. They can do that.
If your kid can be self-directed and independent, a self-directed independent learner, this is the classroom for you. Your kids are allowed to let their true personalities show through. The OC, they call it, or the Open Classroom. It promotes problem-solving, critical thinking skills, a thriving and successful program for over 40 years. Now, they're having a parent night coming up on Monday, February 12th. Oh, that's this Monday. So you're invited to visit. It's at 6:30 to 8, and if you want to find out more, go to ocslc.org. Hi, I'm Bill Allred, and on this week's Let's Go Eat show, I chat with Jimmy Martin. Yes, the Jimmy Martin. First and foremost, he is a panelist on thegeekshowpodcast.com, but he's also a film reviewer for KSL TV, and he hobnobs with stars. You'll find out all about it if you listen in on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever fine podcasts are sold. It's the Let'sGoEatShow.com.
I'm Sherry.
Radio from Hell, proudly giving you incomplete sports and traffic with Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, 9:21. We got Boner Fight coming up here in a few moments, but first, a reasonable amount of news.
A reasonable amount of news brought to you by How Would You Like to Win $1,000? You can by making a film for the annual Radio from Hell Film Festival. Just make sure it's under 5 minutes long, has an American flag in it. Use the phrase "in your area" in the film. For complete rules and entry deadline, go to x96.com.
I know there was a video of this. I saw it. This is a story that's a couple of days old. Earlier in the week here in Salt Lake, pizza shop here.
Mm-hmm.
Late night. Oh, it was Big Daddy's.
Okay.
And so if you're at a pizza shop that's open late or all night, you're going to get some weird customers.
Yeah.
But some people at Big Daddy's said this was beyond weird. A man wearing white garbage bags entered the Big Daddy location there on 7th East, right across from where our studio used to be, or Caddy Corner.
Yeah.
And confronted the employees. Now, I'm thinking this guy wants free pizza, said manager Jeremiah Wood.
Sure.
But it was quickly apparent that the garbage sack-covered man wanted more than a slice. I asked him, "What are you doing?" All of a sudden, he pulls out a pipe and hit my arm with it, said the manager, Jeremiah. Surveillance video of the incident shows the employees responding to the violent attack by grabbing pizza-making tools, including one of those big paddles that they take the pizzas in out of the oven with,
yeah?
and start fighting back.
Is there video?
Yeah, there is.
Yay!
My coworker kept swinging back. All we knew was we had to get him out of the store, said Jeremiah Wood. The video showed the employees running out of the store after the suspect. So they get him out the door, and they chase him out the door and into the street. Police reports say he was caught about a block away, and when cops removed his clever white garbage bag disguise, they revealed his identity as Curtis Sims. Mr. Sims is in jail on 2 felony counts now, aggravated robbery and aggravated assault. I've had drunk people. I've had people throw stuff, but this was another level, said Jeremiah Wood, manager of Big Daddy's Pizza. This is a sad story. Hollywood producer Jill Messick, who was Rose McGowan's manager in 1997, at the time Rose McGowan alleges Harvey Weinstein raped her, has taken her own life.
Oh, geez, really?
The family of Messick, age 50, released a statement on Thursday confirming that the studio head had died as a result of suicide. Messick's family revealed that she had suffered privately from depression, and then when all of this was coming out, Weinstein and Rose McGowan, she just couldn't take it anymore, I guess.
She was just like 50-something, right?
She was exactly 50.
Well, and speaking of that, you were saying nothing's coming of this for Harvey Weinstein. There are 3 different open investigations in L.A.
And there's one in New York.
So maybe something will come from that.
A state lawmaker who tried to prohibit Utah employers from using non-compete contracts a couple of years ago is back. Now, that bill didn't make it. This is a bill aimed at banning those agreements, but only for media outlets. So Mike Schultz of Hooper.
How can I help?
Stirred up a hornet's nest in the business community with his 2016 proposal that passed in a watered-down form after intense behind-the-scenes negotiations and about 10 iterations. It bans non-compete contracts that are more than 1 year long for all employers.
Oh, that are more than 1 year long, so it doesn't ban them.
Well, if it's more than a year, you can't do a non-compete. Yeah. The new proposal prohibits an employer and an employee from entering into a post-employment restrictive covenant if the employer's primary business is news media.
This is very specific.
This is a little too specific. Could you expand it to...
Well, we're news media.
Well, you're the news desk. I'm not.
So it only counts for...
you're on your own, pal.
Carrie, you do geek news?
Yeah.
News.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, there you go.
And Gina does... I don't know.
Sports weather traffic,
Yeah,
does that
that's
count?
kinda they do
Yeah.
that on the
Is that-
news.
yeah.
That's 3 different kinds of news.
There you go. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes. I don't know if it'll go anywhere. Shrinky Zinke, as they're calling him, Ryan Zinke, the Interior Secretary, going to be here in town today.
Unless you're hearing this on Monday morning.
Right. Because there's no way we could not play this for you on Monday. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke is speaking at the Salt Palace Convention Center, and if you want to join in a protest, because Zinke is largely responsible for Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante, it's today from 12:15 to 12:45 p.m. Gather on the southeast corner of the Salt Palace Convention Center to protest Ryan Zinke's visit. Maryland has been among only a small handful of states that has allowed rapists parental rights.
Oh, man.
That's about to change.
Good.
They've been debating this for 12 years.
Why is this?
Why would
is
it be?
this a
Why would you
discussion at
debate it
all?
more than 12 seconds?
Exactly.
But it's come up every year for 12 years. But Maryland lawmakers now approved a bill that will let rape victims impregnated during an attack ask a judge to end their assailant's parental rights.
It's ridiculous.
Now, that doesn't mean they have to.
Yeah.
And, there may be some who wouldn't, but this is, if you can go to the court and say, no, this person has no rights over the child or anything.
All right. Weather?
Weather, it's brought to you by climate change, and it's extra climate changey feeling today. Could get over 60 degrees and breezy. A storm, slight chance of actual precipitation, but it will lower the temperature tomorrow, like into the 40s.
It's Boner Fight, the final round.
Here we go. Boner candidate number 1, the winner of one of the rounds. My dad has cancer. That's number 1. This is the Utah state lawmaker who has just stepped down. I think it was Wednesday. I said I have to leave my job here in the state legislature. He's a Republican from Kanab. His name is John Stannard, and he has been a very conservative. He's a family values guy, anti-prostitution legislation. Well, and apparently he's been seeing hookers, or at least one hooker.
Yeah.
And she's come forward and said, and it looks like he might have been doing it on the state dime as well, using his state credit card to pay for the hotel room that they had their tryst in. It's sad because he has a wife and 3 kids, and now that's all. He's really ruined his family. That's Boner candidate number 1. And Boner candidate number 2, this woman really ruined poor Pebbles' life. I had to drop Pebbles off at the pool. This woman who was trying to fly home from Baltimore to Florida, she said, I called the airline. Can I bring my pet support animal, my hamster, a dwarf hamster named Pebbles? I think that is Pebbles in the picture at x96.com/live. A cute little hamster. Can I bring him on board? Yes, they told her on the phone. When she got there, they said no. She said, what am I going to do? I got to get home. What am I going to do? Wait, why don't you flush him down the toilet? She did. Boner candidate number 2, I had to drop Pebbles off at the pool.
You've got to decide who is Boner of the Day right now. This is Boner Fight. 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number. Put that number in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Or call 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boner Fight February 9 and vote there. You've got less than 300 seconds, so let's go. It's Boner of the Day.
Stay tuned for a 1-hour nonstop music wingding right after Radio from
I had a bizarre experience yesterday.
What?
So I ordered. So I don't order a lot of stuff from Amazon, but my gosh, it's really convenient. You know,
I was going to say, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I don't do it more, but it's
because it hurts local businesses.
Yeah, I'd
that's
rather
why,
shop
That's
locally.
the reason you shouldn't.
I'd rather shop locally, but there were every once in a while there's a specialty item I can't find, or I can't find. Maybe it's a pair of some clothing I can't find the right size or whatever. So anyway, I ordered this item. It doesn't matter what it was from Amazon. It was $10, and it was free shipping because I'd have Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the way they track the packages, man, it's really slick. I mean, they say, okay, the package is left here, and now it's here, and now it's here,
Mm-hmm.
and then they say the package has been delivered to your house. It's on
Mm-hmm.
your front porch,
Mhm.
and it was there at 3:15.
Yeah.
So when it said that, I went out and there was no package. And I'm looking around. I go, there's no package anywhere. But clearly it said 3:15. So I got a hold of Amazon,
Mhm.
and they said, well, I said maybe it just got delivered. It must have just gotten delivered somewhere else. And they said, well, we'll just refund your money. And I said, well, I don't know. Should I wait a day or two? Well, you could, but we'll just refund your money and we'll give you a $5 credit for your trouble. And I said, okay, thanks. And then I thought, I'm not going to order that thing again anyway. I'll go try and find it somewhere else. So yesterday, the woman next door comes over and says, here, this was delivered to my house. Now, Amazon has already said they're going to credit my account for $10.
Mm-hmm.
So she comes over and says, here, this package was delivered here accidentally. It's for you. It's the missing item. So my decision then is, do I keep it and steal $10 from Amazon? Or no, I don't. So
now
no.
you're on record.
Right. Well,
This is the radio bill?
So I say to myself, no, of course I don't. And I called them.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a hassle to get them to take $10 back from me. I was on the phone for a half an hour. It's like they couldn't figure out how to do it practically.
Nobody's ever called to give us money back.
I said, I just don't want to cheat you out of this $10. Well, okay. It's like
we're not used to people.
It's just $10.
Doing the right thing.
I mean, I was on hold for 20 minutes while this woman tried to figure out how to. She wasn't quite. So either she was inept or it just doesn't happen. I don't know. But what a hassle to get to give them back their $10. And I hope I still get my $5 credit.
I'm sure you will.
I hope.
And Gina Barberi on X96.
All right, it's time to award Boner of the Day.
And the Boner of the Day is brought to you by a sleeve of...
In part by
a sleeve of club crackers.
And Utah Presents brings a brand new kind of songbook to Kingsbury Hall starring Stephen Page, former lead singer of Bare Naked Ladies, with the Art of Time Ensemble, February 14th at Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org, and I believe we gave some tickets away to a random Boner voter.
Yeah, we did, to someone named Jeremy. And the winner of the Boner voting, we had number one, my dad has cancer, Utah state legislator who has been caught in flagrante delicto, is that what they say?
In flagrante delicto.
Yeah, in flagrante delicto. You know that a little too easily, Kerry.
It was in a cartoon.
Oh. Yeah, he was, apparently he had a whore in his hotel. You got a whore in there?
A couple of times.
State rep? Yeah, and he may apparently have been using state credit cards to pay for the hotel anyway.
Well, that's just too much.
And boner candidate number 2 was I had to drop pebbles off at the pool. This woman thought she had no choice. She was going to get on a plane. She had to get rid of her little support animal, her little dwarf hamster named Pebbles. The airline said, I don't know, just flush it down the toilet. And that's what she ended up doing.
That story still baffles me.
It bothers me.
Well, you know, animal cruelty often will trump any other candidate and win.
But?
Well, and so I stopped doing a lot of them until every once in a while I would, and it would seem, well, they wouldn't win. But this time it did.
Really?
This congressman ruins his family, disgraces his wife and 3 children. Now, I feel bad for little Pebbles going down the commode, but...
So who won?
Shouldn't have won. Pebbles.
Oh.
Dropping Pebbles off of the pool.
All right, there you go. That's Boner of the Day for today, and it is now candidate for Boner of the Week. All right, we got to talk about this thing going on at Snowbird.
Eric Wally is here. He is with Cliff Green Notes, which is a kind of Cliff Bars supporting environmental causes mostly, right? Is that right?
Yep, that's true.
Now, do we have Ron on the phone?
Ron is on the phone.
Also, Ron Pope. And Ron is a musician and has a band called, is it Ron Pope and the Nighthawks? Do you have that band, Ron?
Nope.
Nope. You did have.
No, that was the name of my 2 albums ago. But my band is just called Ron Pope. Makes it a little easier. Good. This way, my mom can tell people how to Google me.
Good. I like that. I like that. So now Ron is coming here to do a really interesting concert at Snowbird. And Eric, we're going to let you tell us about how this works.
Sure. Like you said, I work for Cliff Green Notes. It's a nonprofit organization supported by Cliff Bar. We work with artists and musicians on sustainability and social issues. Mm-hmm. Most recently, we've put together a large roster of musicians, bands, and nonprofit organizations. And what we do is try to find creative ways to connect those 2 groups, hopefully allow the musicians to use their reach to expand and amplify the causes of those nonprofits. So with the Snowbird activation, what we're doing is we're working with Protect Our Winters as the nonprofit. We have several musicians on board, Ron Pope being the musician that'll perform tomorrow. But essentially,
on the tram,
on the aerial tram at Snowbird.
That's amazing.
So what we ask people to do, Protect Our Winters is obviously a climate change organization, and so we ask people to do a couple things for the opportunity to be on that tram, and those things are either pledging to vote and to receive election reminders, basically through Rock the Vote, or they can go sign up for Protect Our Winters newsletter.
Ron, quick question. You ever perform on a tram before?
Yeah.
I used to play on the subway platform in New York.
Well,
I think that's about the
but
closest
that's not moving.
That's solid ground, man.
That's not moving. You're going to be moving.
Have you ever been here, Ron?
No, I've been to Utah. I've played Salt Lake. But I have never gone up a mountain.
So it's beautiful. It's beautiful up there, and you're going to be on a gigantic tram car, which, well, it holds about 100 people, maybe. Yep. So, and you're going to be performing as you kind of swing gently up to the top of Hidden Peak.
It will swing a bit. It did last time.
Be ready for that.
Yeah. So how do people, if they want to see Ron on the tram tomorrow, are there still places or ways they can do that?
Yeah. Registration, for lack of a better word, is open till 1 o'clock this afternoon Mountain Time. They can go to frontsidesessions.com. That's the name of this particular project. And either they can pledge to vote, they can get election reminders through Rock the Vote, they can sign up for the Protect Our Winters newsletter. They can also use the hashtag ElevateYourVote within their network to sort of earn more points, increase their chances of being on the tram. You can still go up. We reserve about 20 spots day of, where if you are up
You're
there,
just up skiing.
Yeah, you're up there to ski and you want to check out the show, you can go take the same actions on the spot and still get on.
Ron, I think this is great that you're doing this. Are you involved with the causes like this very often?
You know, I try to be. I think as you travel around the world on tour, it just makes you appreciate, just how incredible it is that we have this great big world to live in. And so I figure if there's anything worth taking action about, it's this. It's our home. It's the only one we've got. So I try to be as involved as I can. As we're running around doing all these things. I mean, I'm doing this in the morning or the afternoon tomorrow, and then I'm playing at the complex tomorrow night in Salt Lake. So
that's right.
We're always running around trying to do whatever we can. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's really nothing more important than the environment. If we don't have the world, what do we have?
So Ron Pope, tomorrow is Snowbird. If you want to try and get in on that, go to frontsidesessions.com, and there are probably tickets available for the Complex show that evening. And really look forward to meeting you, Ron, and seeing. And the music sounds great. Thanks a lot for being here and for doing this. And thank you, Eric.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. All right. He's on SoundCloud if you want to hear Ron Pope.
That's really nice.
That is.
Yeah. Ron Pope.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back. First, got to tell you about Zero Fatalities.
ZeroFatalities.com is the website, and the first thing you're going to see when you go there is it says Join the Resistance. And you'll go to that portal, and what you're doing is you're pledging to not drive distracted. Resist the urge to look at your phone while you're driving.
We got to get better at this. There is a way that we can reduce the number of fatalities on the road, and one of the big ways is people just paying better attention. So join that resistance and go to ZeroFatalities.com. There are some ways you can win some prizes there and things like that. But
it'll work. I got our friend Danny Bateman.
Yeah.
Sure.
He sent me a text that said, I was listening to you guys talk about zero fatalities, and I had my phone in my hand, and I went, nope, and I put it down and put it away. So
Good for you.
And it's beyond texting, too. And if you go to the website, they'll point out some things that you might be doing that you're not aware that you're doing.
Distracted by friends in the car, by food in the car. Go to ZeroFatalities.com.
Attention! The deadline to submit your film for the Radio from Hell Film Festival is this Monday, February.
Radio from Hell with Carrie, Bill, and Gina. 96.3 FM, X96.
I got caught in an embarrassing moment this morning.
Oh, good. I can't wait to hear.
Here at work. Already, I've been at work about an hour now, and already caught in an embarrassing moment.
Are you saving it?
No, I'll tell you right now. I came in the back door, as I always do. I kind of hope Chris is listening. I don't know Chris's last name.
Mancow.
Yeah, Chris Mancow.
Sure.
Yeah. So Chris is a board operator here in the building, and he tends to another radio station. He's a very nice guy, very quiet guy, very shy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably if he's hearing this, is embarrassed to hell that I'm even mentioning him on the radio. He's a very shy guy. So I come in the building this morning, and I'm walking down the long corridor there, and there down at the end of the corridor is a copy machine. And on the copy machine is sitting a big, it's like a briefcase, suitcase kind of thing.
Okay.
It looks like a toolbox, but not metal. It's a cord,
Okay.
fabric kind of stuff. What do they call that? Cordova. No. Anyway. So it's a big case with buckles on it and everything. And it's sitting there it's just out of place. It's odd. I've never seen it sitting there before. It's sitting, what is that? I think to myself. So then I think.
How curious were you?
I open it up and start rifling through it. Look at this. Look at this. And I mean, there was nothing particularly strange.
Wait a minute,
in there.
you saw someone's luggage lying around and you just opened it?
Well, yeah.
Didn't you learn anything from the announcements at the airport?
Or anything from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
God.
But I, and I thought in my mind, maybe the reason I opened it is I thought, I wonder if because it looks like one of those things that the copy guy brings with his tools in it.
Okay.
To repair the copier. But I start going through it, and it's obviously somebody's briefcase. It's got some CDs in there, library books. There's an orange in there. I went through it pretty extensive. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Sounds like you cataloged all of the stuff in there.
This is all stuff that I could sort of see right there. And as I'm kind of going through it, Chris comes up the hall the other way and goes, "Hey, that's mine." And I went, "Oh,
I'm sorry."
I thought it was the copy guys.
Because if it was the copy guys, that would have been okay to go.
Well, it was my duty to investigate as a junior TSA trainee.
TSA, which really does mean to stand around. I'm just convinced of it.
No. So sorry, I apologize to Chris, and I'll apologize again. But just I'm just standing there going through his stuff, and here comes the shyest guy in the building going, "Hey!"
X96.3 and X96.com.
In the promo for the Geek Show, he mentions cosplay, and that just made me think of this. There's an event tomorrow night.
Oh,
cosplay for Cinnamon. Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Tomorrow at 7, from 7 to 10, and it's is it at the, well? It says it's 299 South Main Street. Is that the Wells Fargo building?
I think so. I thought this already happened.
No, it's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And it's a cosplay event. 50 local participants with costumes from TV, movies, and gaming. A runway fashion show. You can participate in a raffle to win awesome prizes, including tickets to the 2018 Fan X. There's a photo booth and all that kind of stuff. Cinnamon, by the way, for if you don't know.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Cinnamon Hadley. We talked about her a couple of weeks ago. She was the model for Death in the Sandman comic series.
Mm-hmm. Sort of the muse.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman wrote it, but I forget the artist's name.
He was a local
artist.
He
was a guy who lived here for a while, and so did she. And she died recently.
Yeah, cancer.
With the cancer. She passed away on January 6, 2018. But so they're raising money. So it's only $10 to get into the show. You can. There's a Facebook page here. Just Google cosplay for Cinnamon, and that'll come up.
Unless this Monday morning, then that event is over.
Yeah,
if you're listening on Monday morning, it's over.
And you can kick yourself in the ass and say, "Well, geez, I should have gone to that. Mm-hmm. I missed it."
What's today?
It's Friday.
Well, today's Friday the 9th,
okay.
unless you're listening on Monday morning.
Yeah. So if you're listening on Monday morning, it's the 12th.
Yeah, if you're
and it's earlier in the day than it is
Yeah.
now.
If you're hearing this on Monday morning, I should say, yes.
Yeah. It's kind of a time shift.
Yeah.
It's kind of freaking
It's because
me out.
we play back this hour between 5 and 6 a.m.
Yeah.
the next day.
And that's why we try to put everything time sensitive
everything
possible.
exactly.
in
Events
this-
that are happening this weekend.
That's-
and they all get
Actually,
played
now
back.
Now that I think about this whole hour, we shouldn't play back.
No, we shouldn't. And I've been saying that for years, but no one will listen to me.
I listen to you. We should play some other best of there.
I don't think we should be playing any.
Because pretty much everything we did this hour was
Yes.
times-
And it won't get cut out because he's on the phone. It'll all be there.
Well, if you cut it, particularly this hour, if you cut it out, there wouldn't be anything to listen to.
Yeah. He's on the phone booking a DJ gig or something right now. He doesn't hear that we're doing time-sensitive stuff. He's just recording it, and we'll cut and paste it and throw it on. And Monday morning, you'll hear all of it.
Well,
yeah, that'll be fun.
But it's kind of nice just to know all of the wonderful things that you could have done.
or maybe you
on the
did
weekend.
them, and it'll remind.
Yeah, I did that. That was great.
That was fun.
So I think that works out just fine.
Should we do Boner of the Week here? Because
Yes.
we're running out of time.
Spider-Man has come in here to do Boner of the Week. If you're looking at x96.com/live, you'll see Dave the Flower Guy is wearing his Spider-Man hoodie, and he's here to tell us he's been ill, but you're okay now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Better.
Okay, good. Because you got to pay attention here.
All right.
So, Boner of the Week. From Monday, oh, the will of the people be damned. Mike Schultz, Republican of Hooper, sponsoring a bill that would, in effect, cancel out the Our Schools Now initiative. That's a citizens initiative trying to raise taxes for schools. And if that passes, this bill would go into in effect and just cancel it out.
So screw the will of the people.
Yeah. Boner candidate number 2, hair highlights, not on our watch. Young girl, beautiful long hair. Her parents are divorced. She's spending time with her mother. She said, I'd like to get highlights for my 16th birthday. The mother says, fine. They do that. She goes home to her father and stepmother, where she's apparently living, and they are outraged that she got these hair highlights. And so they forcibly chop off all of her hair. Boner candidate number 3 from Wednesday. Oh, man, do I love this ass. Let's see, police chief in a small town in Tennessee, I think. Anyway, Sheriff Odie Shoop. And Sheriff Odie, he's a sheriff, and one of his deputies calls and said, we've got a low-speed chase going on here, Sheriff, and we could ram this guy and get him off the road, probably be okay, nobody get hurt. He says, no, hell, you're going to ruin my police cars doing that. Shoot him! And they did.
It's all on tape.
And then Sheriff Odie comes to the scene, upset that he missed all the action, but says, man, do I love this ass. I love it. Boner candidate number 4 from yesterday. You point that at me, I'll bite it off. A child in a special needs daycare, apparently bitten on the finger by one of the teachers, and it got all infected. And then boner candidate number 5 from today. I had to drop pebbles off at the pool. The woman who flushed her dwarf hamster down the toilet because it was the only option, the only way she was ever going to get on that plane is if she got rid of the hamster. Dave, who is the winner? Who is Boner of the Week?
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yesterday, it's if you point that thing at me, I'll bite it off.
Yep. All right. And that is your Boner of the Week. All right. Let's we got the promo there, looks like.
Somewhere. I don't have it.
I got it.
I'll have it in a
I
second.
got it.
Okay.
Got it?
You bet.
Get those last-minute reshoots.
Head to the editing bay.
Make sure you know the rules.
Make sure you follow the rules.
Submit your Radio from Hell Film Festival film by 5 p.m. on Monday. This is your last chance.
And join us Monday morning on Radio from Hell on X96.
Good enough?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'd say.
John Smith is here. Hi, John.
Yes, John.
Hey, dudes.
I replaced the crackers.
You replaced them?
Yeah, there's a little half sleeve of club crackers on your
delicious
desk.
club crackers, yeah.
I took them this morning and I ate them.
Oh, why would you do that?
Well, because I couldn't resist them. because as the box says, they're light, flaky, buttery, and delicious.
He's somehow going to blame you for this, that you left them out.
Did
so.
you go buy a box?
Uh-huh.
Well, because I pointed out to him, I said, I don't know how diabetes works, but I think that he might have those around to,
for the beaties,
even things out, maybe.
Yeah.
No?
No.
All right.
Okay.
But thank you.
Sure. So I've eaten all of them except for that half sleeve that I put back on.
I'm gonna put my dad hat on.
Okay.
And say, Bill, I appreciate you bringing this to my attention, and I appreciate your honesty.
Good.
Now go to your room.
Okay.
All right. What do you got, John?
Final day of the Valentine's Day contest.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. So 2:00.
Okay.
I've got Caroline Spine tickets and Wingding.
All right.
And if I had not mentioned, if I had just eaten the crackers and they'd been gone, would you have noticed?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh.
Just now I know for
you've
next
emboldened him. To
time.
just
Now
eat
I know for
them.
next time. Just eat them.
He's learning.
So I think I had already given the crackers to somebody else, and they didn't eat the whole thing.
Oh.
I think the sleeve was already open.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a half sleeve.
All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
This is cornhole weather, no doubt about it.
John Smith is next.
Please keep listening.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.